Everybody, what's going on? What is going on? Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. How y'all doing? How are y'all doing this good afternoon? If you are on the West Coast, it's still morning for you. So good morning. But if you are on the East Coast and Central Time, it is past noon. I got the time at 12:16. I want to welcome everybody to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Thank y'all for coming through and rocking with us today. What I need you to do first and foremost is hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let them know this is what you're watching on this good Wednesday we got coming up on Easter. Easter this weekend. I see it's a little bright, but I got my pastel yellow on. All right, so I won't be rocking anything Monday. I'll be flying, but I'm gonna make sure I give y'all the pastel colors anyway. So this is my last show for the week. So make sure you tune in. We got great stuff, great topics for you today, as always. All right. So thank y'all for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button. Where we at right now? Somebody give me a likes count. Give me a likes count right now. Let's see where we're at. We are at 25 likes. Get those likes all the way up to 30. Just give me 30 likes and then I'll continue. Give me 30 likes and I'll continue. We got 27. Let's get it up there. Get it up. Get it up there. 30. There we go. We got those likes up quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right. We got a hell of a topic for you today. So shout out to the viewers nationwide and international, everybody here in the U.S., on every coast, all of our Canadians watching, all of our Europeans and Africans watching. Not sure we got any Asians watching, but they could be watching too. But we welcome you and thank you for supporting the show. Make sure you like and subscribe if you have not. I've recently come to find out that a lot of people that watch these shows aren't subscribers. So I guess they just see what's live. They see what maybe some of their friends are watching and they just click. But I know you want to support your people. And if you want to support, then hit the subscribe button. It's simple. It's easy. And if you like what you hear, I understand you don't want to be inundated with notifications on your phone, but I promise you, this network is worth it. Even if you're indifferent, I don't want to say you don't like this show. I haven't been, even people that say they don't like me are lying. All right. I'm a multifaceted individual. So even if you don't like or you're indifferent about this show, I promise you're going to like something on the Lapeef Network. I can promise you that. So I encourage you to hit that bell for notifications and get notified whenever a show is coming on the Lapeef Network. You won't be disappointed. Tons of content for you to consume in the form of long form videos, shorts, and clips. So anything you want is available to you from the Lapeef Network. So I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. All right. If you want to support the show, if you like anything I say or anything any of the panelists says, and you want your super chat read aloud, I want you to send a super chat. You can scroll over if you're on your mobile device, hit that little icon that says super chat or a little money symbol, and show us your love, make a comment, and we'll read it aloud on the show. If you are watching the broadcast after it is live, you can still support in the form of a super thanks. Scroll over again, hit that super thanks button, and show your support that way. We always appreciate every type of support in form of likes, subscriptions, or you can join the channel as well. You can join the Green Gang and get extra channel perks if you want to show your continued support for this show. Who we got in the chat today? Who is in the chat about to chop it up with us today? Dale Matthew, what's going on? Quincy, always in the building. Mr. Ray, how you doing? Vincent, what's going on? Mrs. Nurse Fancy, excuse me. Don't want to mess that up. Demetrius Carter, what's going on? Common Sense TV, MS Best. What up? It's Chanel. How you doing? CC. Jill's Chocolate Boutique. My order came in. It did. I'll be sending it. I'm going to split it with some of the staff down at the spot where I sent it. So everybody's going to get a taste of your chocolate. I be thinking if I'd have sent it to my house, I'm the only one that'll experience it. But if I send it to the business, get to share it out. Hopefully you get some business from that. All right. So, in fact, I got to get down there before they open the package and think it's just for them. I want to taste the chocolate too. All right, so 455 bench presser, what's going on? My man King Spark, good afternoon to you. The real Rob Lowe, what's up? What's up? All right, man, we in the building today. We are here with another great topic for you. And even before we start talking about the topic, I had something that I was thinking about yesterday. I was going back and forth with my man Big Bad Bull in the chat. So Big Bad Bull, if you're watching, I'm not picking on you. You my dog. You know that. You always show support. Always read, forward stuff. You show us you are the mod father. There's no better mod than Big Bad Bull. But something he was saying about basically the gist of what we were talking about was, is this a solution oriented show? Is this a solution oriented show? And I have deep thoughts, not even shallow thoughts. I have deep thoughts on that. And I'm going to share them with you before we get started on the topic. I'm going to share those with you. I believe this is a solution oriented show, but let me explain why. You know, I love to prove everything I say. So I want to prove to you that this is a solution oriented show. The panel is diverse in background. As you can see, don't take my word for it. Go back in the episodes. The panel is very diverse in background. And the people that watch from the analytics that I pull are from all different demographic groups and age groups. To let you know that that type of diversity only comes for certain types of broadcasts, not every type of broadcast. And the ultimate point that I want to make to y'all in the chat, everybody watching, and people who love this space, they call it manosphere, but I don't identify with all of that. I've listened to some of the stuff the manosphere says, and I'm indifferent about it, but this space that is primarily taken up by people of the urban persuasion, all right, but from all walks of life, brown people mostly, but all are welcome. All are welcome to partake. So I want to let y'all know something as you listen to me talk and you listen to the panelists break things down. Solutions don't occur the way y'all think they do. Solutions do not occur the way y'all think they do. If I gathered a panel of men and women to talk about solutions, right now as it stands, the show has been on without the timer for less than 10 minutes, and I have 106 people watching. If I gathered a panel and told us solution-oriented show and then put a title after that, I'd have 10 people watching. I'm going to state to you why that's important. Solutions don't happen the way y'all think they do. That's why there are really no male reality shows. Okay? Men often make the mistake of wanting to get straight to the solution because that's the way we are. That's the way we are. Problem, solution. So no smoke for anybody on that. That's the way we are naturally. But each man can dictate what happens in his own home that way. Problem, solution. But we have to understand that in the space that we're in now as a society, all men are not like that no more. They're not like that anymore. And this is especially important to note, and I need y'all to listen to me. All men are not like that anymore, and men are not the only problem with society anymore. That's why this is important to note. The first step in fixing any problem is what? I'm going to leave that to the chat. The first step in fixing any problem is what? First person. Please, let me know in the chat. I will wait for a response. Somebody's going to get it. I got smart people in my chat at all times. Jamal Brown, first person, acknowledging that there is a problem to begin with. That is the first step to fixing any problem. You have to acknowledge that there is a problem in the first place. And now I want you to think about the panels we have. As you can clearly see in 4K clarity, we have people in the community who can't even acknowledge that there is a problem. That is clearly what we're doing on this show. The reason we have these conversations, and they may seem circular, but every single time we do a broadcast, we are showing young men and some young women our position on these issues. They need to know that. Let me move further. So what is the solution that I'm talking about here? There is a lot of irony in what I'm about to say. The irony of having a solution-based show is that there won't be an outright solution because people are just going to debate what the solution actually is. You see how that works? I can give you solution after solution after solution. They're just going to want to debate what the solution is. They're just going to want to debate it. But there's nothing wrong with that either. Let me continue. Do y'all want to know what the actual solution is? Tell me. Let's see if somebody else can get it. Jamal Brown hit the nail on the head with the first step in acknowledging, which is acknowledging that there is a problem. Can anybody get to the actual solution? He said, come to the negotiations table. That's a good way to put it. All right, listen. The solution is the civil discourse between adults. That's it. That is the solution. Let me put this back up. John O said, come to the negotiations table. That is another way of saying you bring people together. The difference in perspectives, congregating and debating is the solution. People didn't think this was possible between Black people. There are millennials and Gen Z that didn't think Black people could sit in the same place and talk without yelling and being ready to fight each other. The civil discourse between adults is the solution. The difference in perspectives between people congregating and debating is the solution. Let me tell y'all something, man. The solution is not an end result or an agreement. That's an illusion. That is an illusion. The solution is not an end result or an agreement. That's what you've been taught. That's what someone told you. The solution is an infinite dialogue between minds that challenge each other on a constant basis. That's it. Challenge me. Let me know what's on your mind. I could fight you all day on it. I'm going to have to go sit somewhere and think about the truth you just spoke. And when you use facts, when you debate with facts, that's going to sit on someone's mind. And over time, you may get changed behavior. That is the solution. That's it. We can take different paths to reach the same goal, but we debate on the acceptable paths to reach that goal. That's it. This is a solution-oriented show. Anytime you see civil discourse on this network between minds, debating, not trying to fight, but debate, that is the solution. You make a Black boy, a Black girl, a brown boy hopeful every day they watch this show. You make them hopeful because some of them have never seen this before. They've never seen respectful dialogue. They've never seen people that look like them use such big words before. I'm not trolling. I'm being serious. That is the goal. So yeah, just wanted to address that, put that out there. Y'all stop looking for solutions in the form of some serendipitous end result. There is no serendipity here. It is infinite. The solution is infinite. We're always developing, always battling. It's a war of ideas and ideologies, but it's always civil. All right, man, let me get off my soapbox. That was just on my mind. I had to tell you that. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. We're about to get into the main topic. We are about to get to the main topic. What's going on, Fatty? I seen you come in. Gemini, what's going on? Danelle Collins, how you doing? Shaka, what's going on? Thank y'all for coming in. SR John, Daryl Brown, what's up? All right, first topic we got for today. This is another topic carried over from yesterday. So, yesterday we talked about black hair in the workplace. Varying opinions on that. A lot of varying opinions on that. And I thought that was important to note. Yesterday's discussion about black hair in the workplace had me thinking. What's up, D-Town Conversation? Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, how you doing? All right. So we have to iron some things out about hair. We got to iron some things out about hair. Neat hair is the global standard. People keep saying the term European standard, and it's getting on my damn nerves. Neat hair is the global standard. That's it. Neat hair is the global standard. Now let's talk about that. Because I did some research. I had to dive into this, so I wasn't speaking out of turn or speaking incorrectly. I wanted to be accurate on this. Acceptable styles for men the world over, as far as the workplace is concerned. Short all around, on all sides. Short, faded, or tapered on the sides, like mine. All right, this is a taper. I don't do the fade myself anymore. I go every few weeks for that. But this taper is all me. I taught myself how to do that on YouTube when I was in the military. Tall on top, even a little taller than this. If I go maybe an inch more, tall on top, but faded and tapered on the sides. Easiest way to say this is that low, for men especially, low bulk on the sides is what's generally acceptable the world over. Bulk on the side of your head as a man is not usually acceptable in the workplace. This is what I noticed about every acceptable style the world over. It's the global standard. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Now, there is a lot more variation in what is acceptable for women. A lot more variation. All right. Low bulk, of course, meaning hair all the way out here. That's not generally acceptable. So it has to be low bulk. Ponytail, acceptable. Pin, one side back. That means just coming over your shoulder on one side. And for black women especially, braids are actually generally acceptable because especially the ones that fall like straight hair. Braids are generally acceptable. There is no, and I'm talking about like micro braids, box braids that come down. Those are generally acceptable. I've seen them at every level. I've seen them at the operational level. I've seen them at the executive level. I've seen them at the corporate level. I've seen them all levels. Black women rock braids. I've seen black lawyers rock braids. I've seen black doctors rock braids. It is a low maintenance ish. I say that carefully. It is a low maintenance, high function hairstyle. I don't think I've ever seen anyone, especially as being somebody who HR would come to tell my employees that I was supervising. Nobody's ever said anything about those braids are inappropriate. I've never had it happen. And what I've noticed that is acceptable as the global standard for appearance, it always seems to involve symmetry and neatness. This is what I want y'all to understand. Symmetrical cuts. All right. My hair right now is symmetrical to my face, straight down. Symmetrical and neat. My edges are clean. All right. I do rock a beard, but it's clean, it's edged up. All right. Clean lines on both sides. Neckline clean. I can't really raise my neck up that high, but I just shaved on Monday. I'm going to have to shave again tomorrow. All right. Neat. Now, here's the part where I think y'all going to get upset. No trendy hairstyles or coloring. No trendy hairstyles or coloring. And no distracting accents. That is where we start to go astray from the norm. Now, here's the thing about that. This is what I'm talking to. I'm talking to black people in general. Any kind of black person. All right? Any kind of black person. Miss Bliss says a well-groomed man. And a well-groomed man with a symmetrical haircut can get any job. I'm sorry, in this country. Prove me wrong. But here's the thing, and this is what I want to tell black people. I want to talk to you personally for a second. Here's what I want to tell y'all. I understand that you do not have to conform to any of these standards. I understand that. I understand if you don't want to conform to any of these standards. You can only seek jobs with companies that welcome non-traditional standards for professional appearance. There are a few companies that do. I don't personally know any. And chat, if you know some, please put it in chat. I'll read some aloud. If you know there are companies that say you can wear your hair anyhow, none will bother you, put them in the chat. But my ultimate point for this is you cannot get mad at those who don't. David Drencher says Chase Bank, Bank of America. Fantasy says NSA, Northern Trust, Morgan Stanley, blue collar jobs. Woo, I don't know, y'all. Depends on the blue collar job. Some of the blue collar jobs have the strictest standards. I don't know about that one, SR John. There are more blue collar jobs, I'll say that'll let you wear your hair anyhow, but some of their standards are strict too. Google. This is pretty funny that y'all saying this. Wells Fargo. I got something to tell y'all about these companies y'all naming. I got something to tell y'all about these companies y'all are naming. All right. This is not a black thing. The reason why the reason why it kind of stayed on my mind a little bit from yesterday, the Gemini says Burger King, McDonald's, Waffle House, Piccadilly. I didn't know Piccadilly's was still open. God, I didn't know Piccadilly's was still open. Walmart. All right. This is not a black thing. And the reason that I had to revisit this conversation, I had to do it, is because black people have a variety of appearances that we prefer. This is not a European hairstyle. I can't rock a European hairstyle. I have black hair. I look very well groomed with my style of hair. It's very symmetrical. And I like it this way. I prefer it this way. It's an all-purpose cut. It's not too low, so I got to keep a do-rag on to keep it down and to keep my waves all done, right? Low maintenance. It's functional. I could still put on, if I was in the military, I could still put on my helmet over this. If I played football, I could still put on my helmet. Now, you remember that people with hair falling on their face were having heat strokes in the summer at football practice, right? That's what I mean by functional hair. There's no hair in my face if I put a helmet on, a bike helmet on. I don't have to buy specialized anything. It's a high function, high operation hairstyle. All right. So we prefer a variety of hairstyles as black people, not just dreads, not just dreads or afros. Some of us like our hair short. Now, I do have to say, I like that. MS Best said practical. I like my hair practical. That's how I like it anyway. I want my son's hair to be practical. Also said low maintenance. It is low maintenance. I just let the top grow for about 2 more weeks and I'm going to just keep fading the sides out. Low maintenance. I don't have to spend, you know how much haircuts are now? Damn. It ain't even about having the money to pay them. It's like $50 for what? For what? I don't even get all that enhancement. And $50 my ass. Think about how much money you'll save if you learn how to taper your stuff in between haircuts. I've been doing that probably now for a good 7-8 years. Learn to cut your own hair. All right. Let me tell y'all a little more about this. Black people are the most creative. We are the most creative in the world in regards to the styling of hair. That is a fact. But here's my position. No matter how creative we are with our own hair, we are never going to change the global standard for hair. Let me tell you why. And I have to talk about this because if y'all want solutions, we got to talk about the hard topics. We got to talk about stuff that's hard to talk about. No matter how creative we are with the styling of hair, we will never change the global standard. If you want to open a business for all black people and they can style their hair however the hell they want, more power to you. In fact, that's what you're supposed to do. Do that because you respect black hair. You appreciate black hair and black creativity when it comes to hair. But everybody don't understand that shit. And let me explain. Here are the consequences for not understanding it. As a director in my last job, it's a corporate job, I got moved from the operational level to the corporate level, and they made me a director over basically everybody I was working with in my peer group at the operational level. I launched a program when I was in this place. And let me tell you this, I'm giving you the backstory so I could tell you how I learned this. I did over 100 interviews because I launched that program, a new division, a new program within the company. 100 interviews in 1 month. I had to put together an interview panel to interview the candidates. Several, at least out of that little over 100, maybe 120 people, at least 30 of them were black, at least 30. Something I noticed with these black candidates. Black candidates do get discriminated against because of their hair. It's not right. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't have the traditional global standard of hair, you will never change the global traditional standard of hair. This is what people prefer as not only the image to their company, but the image to their department. There's nothing we can do to ever change that unless you start your own company. Nothing. Let me explain it to you. I'm not saying it's right, but we have to have these conversations either way. This is a solution-oriented show. So letting people know the roadblocks and what you've observed is a part of the solution. Black candidates do get discriminated against because people don't understand the complexity of black hair. How could they? Our hair is different than every other person in the world. On a spectrum, they all have the same hair. Asians, whites, Most Middle Eastern people, South American people, the people in Spain, the people in Australia, they all have the same hair. And then you have people of African descent. We are on the opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to grade of hair. How could they ever understand the complexity of black hair? And unfortunately, that can mess you up and your chances of getting a job if you are not clean cut or a traditionally styled person. I just have to be honest with you. Now, here's how they discriminate. When I was on an interview panel, doing the interviews for these jobs that I told you about, you not only get a character or let's say candidate profile on the candidate. What you start to do when you're a director and you're on an interview panel with other directors, you start to notice that you can take a profile on your coworkers. You can take a profile on other directors. We spent so much time deciphering people's qualifications, disqualifying people due to those qualifications, that you realize every other single person had things that they did not like about everybody, but it was consistent. Some people did not like the way certain people answered the strengths and weaknesses question, and that was consistent. If they didn't answer that question right, this person doesn't like them. They didn't like the way they presented for the interview. They didn't like the way they didn't keep eye contact, even though if it was Zoom, you could tell they were looking down at their phone. Each interviewer on the interview panel has a specific type of discrimination they use. They do not like people that don't do blank. Let me tell you, over 100 interviews, you can see the distinction between what they don't like from people of white, Asian, Hispanic persuasion, and what they don't like about black people. Your appearance has a lot to do with it. I noticed when they were disqualifying people that weren't black, they use a consistent method. Like I said, I know what she's going to say. That person tanked on that question. I know what he's going to say. That person tanked on that question. I would see them disqualify black people that made none of those mistakes, and they had to create them because that person's appearance was not traditional. It can hurt you. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. That's what I noticed. It's like she never said that about any other candidate before. It's almost like she pulled that out of thin air. What is she talking about? I didn't observe that at all. But I'm not biased about hair because I understand the complexity and the creativity of black hair. Do you see what I'm getting at now? It's extremely discriminatory, wife school. It's extremely discriminatory. And do you know what's more insidious about it? There's no way for you to prove it. There's no way for you to prove it. This is why I need to tell you this. Do whatever you want. Style your hair however you want. You cannot change the global standard for professional appearance. You can't. Sometimes we got to talk about the truth. Start your own company and you can do whatever the hell you want. The global standard: symmetrical, low bulk, neat, clean cut. Women, hair off to one side, falling naturally, ponytail. You will never change those standards. Not in the military, not in corporate jobs, not in jobs where you need to be the face of a department or the image of the entire company. Will that ever change? There is no way for you to prove that. I told you, I saw the difference between the way they judged black candidates that did not make the mistakes they pinned everybody else for, that they didn't like. It was the appearance, but they never said it. So how the hell could I press them on it? I'm not stupid enough to put myself out there like that. If I can't prove it, I won't say it. If I can't prove it, I won't say it. They're masterful at that. If she had said it, but her hair, though, I'd have jumped right out. Excuse me? What does that have to do with the situation or her work ethic? She answered every single question. Her qualifications are met across the board, every single bullet point we have. What's the problem? She's eloquent. She speaks nice. We see from her previous job experience, she can handle herself in every situation. She's done audits before. All of this type of stuff. I'd have pinned their ass. I was in charge. But they are masterful. They are masterful at not saying that stuff. How the hell could I ever prove it? So I'm just putting y'all on the lookout for that. When we talk about black hair, understand you can do whatever you want. None shall stop you. None shall stop you. But you cannot change the global standard for hair. Even, hold on, let me just say this. Let me say this. Because I don't like, and I think it is changing. Let me read this because this is important. Mr. Rich, $5 says, so every single standard in the West has changed except hair. There is one standard. There is one standard, Mr. Rich. There is one standard. Black natural hair on women is actually more acceptable than it ever has been. People, as I said, people don't understand the complexity of black hair. But that is because, and I have to say this way because it's what I believe. That is because black women didn't appreciate their own hair. You have to acknowledge what we did by wearing hair that looked like theirs. When you wear your hair out, all of a sudden, it's something nobody ever seen before. I have seen, oh my goodness, gorgeous women that wore their natural hair out, styled and everything. And to black people's defense, there is a difference, and they've actually made concessions for this in many companies. There's a difference between the bulk you get when a black woman is wearing her hair natural. It is actually more bulky. It is actually more bulky than everybody else's hair. So when we say bulk, what they don't want and what no one wants is hair that looks untamed. Hair that looks untamed out to here like I don't know, like Shaka Khan. Depending on the nature of the work you're doing, it may even be dangerous. But I do believe that, like I've seen so many women in a variety of jobs, black women, wear out their natural hair, and everybody's glowing about it because they understand that, ooh, look at how she styled this. Ooh, look at how she did her hair this way. That is the natural hair coming out of her head. All right, so I have seen that changing because once black women started wearing their natural hair out, everybody, including black men, I need y'all to understand this. I've had black men tell me they don't know what their own mother's real hair looks like. So when black women started appreciating their own hair, it makes the opportunity for other people to appreciate your hair too. So I have seen that changing. I will say that. Now, the second topic. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I completely forgot what my second topic was. But Florida has enacted a permitless carry law. If you're not sure what permitless carry is, we have that in Texas. And for those of you who's in Florida, let me know in the chat. Florida has enacted a permitless carry law. And let me tell you a little bit, since I am a 2A enthusiast and instructor and firearms entrepreneur of sorts, I will let you know what to expect. Nothing is going to change. When I started teaching classes on this type of thing, I added a constitutional carry segment. And if you take my class and you're in the Houston area, I will teach you about how to use your constitutional carry / permitless carry law effectively and to your benefit. Heatdefensive.com if you want to sign up for my class. Now, some people seem to think the way they thought here in Texas. In September of 2021, they enacted our permitless carry law. It's called constitutional carry, but that's not really what it is. Constitutional carry means no limits. So permitless carry is something different. It means you do not have to have a permit to carry your gun on your person unless private property or state-funded federal property deems that you cannot have that firearm. So for those of you that may be scared or this is going to mean, it means nothing. Over 90% of the people who have a license to carry, that carry their gun every day do so in a concealed, in the waistband fashion. All the people that had their firearm on them, you never knew anyway. You never knew. They do not open carry their guns. That is a method for you to get your gun taken from you. So most people do not do that. Most men don't do it, even though men are the ones who do out the waistband carry mostly. You rarely will ever see a woman out the waistband carrying, because obviously you're more susceptible to getting your gun taken from you. So why would you want to let everyone know you have one on you? Nothing is going to change. I need to look into the law a little more. Y'all check out the USCCA, Coleon Noir channel, and all those channels if you want more content. I also have a channel on Instagram and YouTube called Heat Firearms, so check that out. But yeah, permitless carry is just going to make it. And let me tell you why this is actually good for Black people. Let me tell you why. This is the same thing I had to teach. Let me say Black and brown people. If you're someone who lives in an area where you can actually prove, if you're someone who lives in an area, yeah, BMU, I'm in Houston, man. If you're someone who can actually prove that the police harass you in your area, and that's what the numbers say. Oh, we're going to get up. I'm going to do a class in Dallas, BMU. You got to come through. If you're someone who can prove that, then this actually helps you. If you are a law-abiding citizen, permitless carry means you can have your car in your vehicle. Obviously not in the eyes view of the police. Of course not. But now when police see a gun in a vehicle, they can no longer assume a crime is involved or about to be committed. Use that to your advantage. With permitless carry, even in Texas, there were law enforcement agencies coming out saying that it would be catastrophic, that all these people with firearms were somehow going to harm the police. None of that to date has happened. It's not going to happen. Let me tell you why it's not going to happen. When you expand gun rights, firearm rights for law-abiding citizens, they follow the law. The people that you're afraid of are criminals. Criminals don't want you to know they have a gun on them. You see how that works? You see how that works? You don't need to infringe on the rights of law-abiding citizens because of what criminals may do. Criminals don't want you to know they got a gun on them. So use this law to your advantage if you're in Florida. We've had it for about 2 years here. I believe the law is also in Tennessee. I can't think off the top of my head. I know, very naughty of me, right? The other states that have permitless carry, don't call it constitutional carry. Call it permitless carry so you don't get all Second Amendment hoorah and then take your weapon on public property that clearly has the penal code written on it, and then you get in trouble for real, for real. But what I want you to do, everybody that has listened to this, if you are in Florida, Texas, Tennessee, any of these states that have a permitless carry law, I want you to look into taking a class, not just my class, on what that law means for you. Does not mean you can carry your firearm into the post office. That's still a federal building. So you need to understand everywhere. You hear me? Everywhere you're allowed to take it. In Texas, for instance, any place where 51% or more of alcohol is being consumed, that is what a bar is. Legally, the definition for a bar is when 51% of that establishment's sales and profits come from alcohol. That's a bar. The legal classification for a bar. And you cannot use this law in that bar. So if you get knocked out, you get into a fight, you get knocked out, they pick you up and your gun falls out your pocket, ooh, you going to jail. Because you cannot carry in there. Permitless carry or not. So you need to understand how these laws work for you and how they might possibly and legally work against you. Don't just say hoorah, hooray, and be out here toting your guns on the hip to let everybody know you got a nice nickel-plated 1911. And I'm gonna be real with you. This is just a personal preference. If you don't have a gun worth showing, please don't wear it on your hip. Some of y'all be wearing some some boo-boo. If you're not an enthusiast, we gonna clown you. Some of y'all be wearing some boo-boo on your hips. Like, look at my new gun. Yeah, if you don't put that $300 piece of shit away. Some of y'all carry high points on your hips. Don't lie. Y'all carry high points. Y'all carry high points on your hips. No bueno. No bueno. Tuck that little shit into your waistband. 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or appendix, and get the hell out of here. We don't want to see that shit. All right. What am I carrying? BMU. I'm gonna send you some videos of me shooting this weekend. Go to my page, Heat Firearms. I think I just bought a new one on Sunday. So I just got that new Canic MC9. That's gonna be my new everyday carry. Switching out from the Hellcat Pro and the X Macro SIG P365 X Macro. I like the trigger on that Canic. I got to give it to Canic, man. Their triggers they're the best out of the box. Walther and Canic, best triggers out of the box. Cannot be beat for concealed carry anyway. I can make a better trigger on my SIG, but other than that, if I'm not shooting the Canic, go check my SIGs out on my page. Who said they'll disarm trigger my? You know what? Let me put it to you this way: if you can disarm me faster than I can put you down, you deserve the crown. If you can disarm me faster than I can draw, you may have a point. But you got to stop me from drawing. Go to my page and see if you can stop me. All right. Last topic before we get this panel up. In fact, let me drop this link. Let me drop this link for my people real quick. Oh, damn. I done did something wrong, but either way. What did I do? I'll find the link in a moment. But our last topic. Have y'all seen Monique? Have y'all seen Monique out here cutting up? What do y'all think? Let me know in the chat. Let me play this short clip of what we're going to talk about Monique. Monique has said that she desires to be with other women. I'm going to play this short clip for y'all. Y'all let me know if y'all think what y'all think she's talking about. Stay tuned.
I said, Daddy, I want to be with another woman sexually.
Oh, no. What are you doing?
And he looked at me so beautifully and so patient and so loving and said, me too. He said, you mind? He said, is that what the
Oh, no. All right. So if you couldn't hear what she said, she basically said her husband was like, well, shit, I want to do it too. Okay. All right. But is she serious? Let me know. Let me know. Wife School says she wanted a threesome. Bob said, all right. Oh, I thought about this too, Michael Richardson. It might be a comedy skit. I don't know if she's telling the truth, but that's my ultimate point. My thoughts on this are, let me duplicate this. Hold on, y'all. There we go. I'm dropping a link for y'all right now. So y'all can come up and chat with me. Do y'all think she's serious, man? Let me tell you my thoughts on this. I don't think she's serious. This is proof that some women are willing to do anything to align themselves with the rainbow community. I think she was running out of options. Let me tell you why. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but some of y'all may not follow Monique, but years ago, it's been out for years and years. Her husband sleeps with other women. She says she cool with it. She says she cool with it. But if you have not noticed, she finally got this Netflix special. Oh, shoot. How did I get... Is somebody trolling me? Who put this Amira banner up? Oh, I did that. My bad. Damn, that was crazy. But look. I think she trolling, man. Her career is on life support, or was. Her career was on life support. She's now seeking new fans. This was a disingenuous attempt to appeal to a different crowd. But I'm going to bring the panel up. Let's talk about it. Mr. Ikene, give me a, all I see is green on your screen. Give me a thumbs up. All right, King Spark, thumbs up. Power up, JT, thumbs up. All right, gotcha. What's going on, fellas? Good morning.
What's going on, brother, man?
Good morning. Where I'm at is good evening, but
Where you at?
know, I'm at the Georgia-Alabama state line right now. I'm going back into Alabama.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Mr. Rich, let me get a thumbs up. All right, bet. King Spark, we're going to start with you. Mute everybody else. What you got on the topic, King Spark? We'll start with what did I talk about? Well, you heard
Monique last.
No, not even just Monique, but we started with black hair in the workplace that we were talking about yesterday. What are your thoughts on it?
Mike, I'm on that other side with that. I think let them people wear what they want to do with their hair as far as their hair is concerned. As long as it's not offensive or unsanitary, I think is my thing. As far as the Monique thing is concerned, I think she might have just been a commercial. It might have been an advertisement. For her. She tried to probably put that out there to let the people in the audience know that, hey, she bought that action. Looking for that action.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a ploy. I think she's serious, man. A lot of these women, most of these women are bisexual, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Mike. Like most, I've seen it time and time again, man. Most of these women, they're bisexual. They like to swing both ways,
Indeed.
And there's a place for it. So, but that's all I got for now.
All right. JT, my man, opening thoughts.
Opening thoughts on the first topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was with the hair, right? Black people and hair. My opening thoughts on that would be, I totally agree with everything you said on there as far as the hair, not being able to be a certain type of way. I've experienced it myself. If you see that, it is what it is. You just had to get a job that's gonna work around that. In my case, they don't really care what you got going on in the industry that I work in, but you just got to move around. You said there's really no way to prove it, and in the long run, you don't want to work with anybody that'll discriminate against you anyway.
Okay. Mr. Ikene, good morning. Or good afternoon, right? I'm used to coming on in the morning. I can't even. Mr. Ikene, you there? All right, we'll go to Mr. Rich. We'll come back to you. Mr. Rich, what are your opening thoughts?
You get off from mute. Hey, listen, let me tell you, I think two things could be true at the same time. If you're looking for a corporate job and you want to, conform to what the needs are for that particular job you want, go ahead and cut your hair and do all that horse shit. If you want to be your own man, you want to keep your hair the way it is, and you understand why you're doing it, you keep your hair the way it is and you find a job that ain't going to give you no shit. It's as simple as that. I think all the rest of the conversation is Hey, listen, you can't tell everybody. You have to be prepared to be in a corporate setting. And your only compromise is to cut off your hair so you can look like the white man or whatever the hell you want to do, or some groom guy. I think that's bullshit. Let the guy, listen, we're all adults. You're looking for a job, you want to keep your hair, you find a job that fits your personality, and that's it. And it's not wrong to do that. I mean, trying to force people to do something to fit into some norms I think, is one of the mistakes that we're making. And you said it yourself, Mike. And I have a living proof. My daughter's hair is natural. Listen, I tell her she got it from me, but she got it from her mother. And her hair, and she spends time with her hair. But it's like the bushy thing right there. And where she works at is a corporate setting, and she don't get no flack whatsoever. So to me, that's a crack in understanding that black people's hair is different, And so 10 years ago, she couldn't have even done that. So everything is changing. So we can't just say everything's changing in the West except for people's hair. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But still, my first thing applies. If a guy wants to keep his hair the way he wants it, he has to understand that there's some jobs he won't be able to get. But that's his prerogative. Period. We shouldn't be talking about, he should conform. That's his prerogative. You ain't going to be a CEO of this kind of company with your hair like that, unless you own a company.
That's my whole point. So exactly what you said is my whole point. Do what you want to do. Nobody, you don't have to conform. But I don't know if you've noticed, there are people that say you should make me the CEO, or I should have the ability to be.
But nobody's paying attention to them.
There are people that want to force their standards on the global standard.
You mean that is what the LBGTNs are the only people who are trying to force their bullshit on everybody else? Everybody else understands that, all you're entitled to is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And everybody tries to push that envelope on the pursuit of happiness side. And nobody's pushing it more than white women and the LBGYNs, whatever the hell they call themselves, the Rainbow Coalition. So I'm just saying, and there's going to be, and there needs to be pushback on that kind of stuff. But I don't think people with their hair is really trying to do that. They just say, why can't I do it? They get told, hey, not in this corporate setting, and they shut up and go away. So I mean, that's my thing. Let me talk about the Monique thing. We'll come back.
I mean, before we change topics, I totally agree with you. But like Trigger Mike said, I mean, you can't tell when they're discriminating because they can blame it on anything. They can say, well, you didn't answer the questions right, or, well, we found somebody that was more qualified. It's any generic excuse they can use. But I tell you, one group of people who never going to have a problem with how they hold their hair, the elemental P community. They can have blue, pink, purple.
I agree. I agree. So let me just finish this thing on the Monique thing. I agree, JT. Listen, Monique first came out with her husband, the beta simp, embarrassing man, and said, listen, I'm the breadwinner, and I told him I'm gonna let guys plow me and bust my cheeks, and he don't got nothing to say about it. That's what she said in front of him in public, saying, and he couldn't get no ass on his own, right? And she says, I'm the breadwinner, you're my puppy dog, and I'm letting guys bust my cheeks, and since I'm the breadwinner, you can't say crap. Now she's coming out and said, not only do I want to have other guys busting my cheeks, I want to have some women between my dirty muffin over here, right? And so all I'm just trying to say, she's a freak. She got a new life, by the way, with her Netflix thing. So she's not necessarily out of the game because she just got some new money from Netflix. So she's all in her element. She's crazy as hell. And, I don't know how much time we need to spend on her. She's just like all the rest of them, not all the rest, just like a lot of women. This shit's going to her head. And she thinks, if you ask her, do you think you're a 10? She's one of those big fat ass chicks who say, I'm a 10.
Hey, you know what, Mr. Payne? Can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
You do know that not only did she do the Netflix special, you do know she has a residency in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So she just got a residency in Las Vegas for $15 million a year.
Yeah, so she's not going out, man. She's getting, her head is blown up as big as that picture you showed her.
Yep.
But no, to keep up with that topic and to piggyback off of that, my opinion about it and my normal thinking is that okay, you came out crying and expressing how you felt, and it took you this long. Like there was no signs before all of a sudden, and that's the kind of one of the issues that I have with that type of thing is because people, I personally feel like this is just my personal opinion. I feel like this is a decision that people just tend to make, but then they put it on. Well, I've been suppressing it my whole life, and it's like I just have a hard time believing that she was suppressing it, but I will accept that though because I don't know her. But with my 10-4 hat on, I would say this is part of a, how do you say, a upgrade or a ritual they
Or
would call it in the
expansion.
industry that she's in. Yeah, in the industry that she's in, if she says what they want her to say, if she does what they want her to do, she'll make more money. Hence, everything you said about the special and all this stuff popping up about her all of a sudden again. Her name is getting thrown out more. So it's kind of like, well, if you do this for us, we'll do this for you. So, it's the same thing as like when they get the rappers to wear a dress and a skirt, and all of a sudden they got the hottest album for the rest of the year.
Mm.
So, but that's
Yep.
my 10-4 hat side. That's my
I
10-4
hear you.
hat side.
No argument.
And since we talk about Monique, I don't know. I may be the only one that has met her, or whatever. I used to do security at the Arena Theaters in Houston for a number of years, and when we had Monique there, she was the type of person that was really down to earth, really cool, and I remember her saying that she had a line going all the way around the rotunda, and she said that I'm gonna take pictures with every last one of my fans that's standing in line. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what time we have to leave this arena. And she stuck by that. So just to say something on her character since since we're talking
Yeah,
about
I'm not saying she's a bad woman, man. I know I'm not. I don't want to sound
I'm gonna
like
say
that, but
she's a
she has
complex woman.
proclivities. Go ahead.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
gonna
me
say she's
neither.
a complex woman. I don't even know if that's a oxymoron. Complex woman. All women are pretty complex, but all right, yeah. To her credit, I guess I've heard that people say that, and boy, let me tell you, the people I've seen at the arena, them concerts be going up in there.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I would just hope that that's a bit or a skit that she was doing, and we just didn't get the full context
You know what?
because
Either
like
way,
that,
She's been
yeah,
talking about that for years, though, bro. Like,
she has.
I think, yeah, she's been saying that her and her husband wanted to sleep with women for years,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that she's letting her husband do that, or she's okay with her husband doing that, because this is, like she said in the special, this is her first time ever being with a man who checked her. And if you watch the special, she said it's the first man that ever told her that her pussy stank.
But
Oh,
wait,
God damn.
we're talking about her though, not her husband. We're talking about how she
Yeah.
feels about women,
No,
right?
no spoilers or nothing, but she did say that. She said she was masturbating with her husband, and she kept telling her husband, eat it, eat it, eat it. He was like, all right, bring that ass over here. And she said she closed her eyes and he put his hand on it. And then when he put his hand on it, she said she thought he was going to start, eating it up. And he said she said he grabbed his hand and smashed it, rubbed it all on her nose and her face. And she was like, "What the fuck you just put in my face?" He said, "That's your pussy."
God damn.
oh,
She said,
Oh boy.
Damn,
her hygiene.
that's crazy. But still, at the same time, to that's her husband, and a lot of men do have that kind of fantasy of dealing with more than one woman or more than one woman with their wife. We're talking about her, how she feels about women, how all of a sudden she
you're
wants to
moving the
be with
bar.
women.
We're on the stink pussy part, right? Don't move the bar just yet.
I
I'm gonna shut up. I think that's another thing that men don't do with women. We don't tell them that their pussy stink too enough. If it really
will
does,
if it's
I
that
think
way, I
guys,
will.
say, "Oh my God, do I gotta take one for the Gipper and shit, or not?" Ugh. So I think guys, just like we can't tell them other things, I think some guys, live in, I don't know, quiet desperation because they don't know how to tell a woman, "Hey, listen, man, you know what? There's some baking soda or some shit. Go down there and clean that shit out, man." Anyway, but that's just another story.
She said she didn't know how to understand them. She said she didn't know how to clean her pussy properly because her mama never taught her. So that's why Yeah, so her husband told her, "Hey, baby," she said, "What you put on my nose?" He said, "Baby, that's your pussy."
Yeah. Well, you know that's a more complex issue, and so a lot of the times, not all, but a lot of the times, you can't even blame the woman for that because I mean, it's got to do with pH balance and
Well, who
all
you
of
gonna
this
blame
extra
it on,
stuff.
JT? Who do you blame that
I'm
on?
saying, well, she could have some type of. You really sometimes you can
No,
blame it
that's
on the
a difference.
men
I mean,
if
let's
the
just talking.
if
Oh,
if
let's just say you're healthy and you don't, like she said, she didn't know how to really, do a proper job. I mean, I think that's more common than some kind of you catch the diseases based on if you're just letting a whole bunch of guys raw dog you,
But
right?
I'm not
And a
even
lot of
talking
women.
about diseases though. I'm saying
Well,
like
yeah,
a
no,
woman
not
if her
diseases,
panties
but
are too
those
tight.
infirmaries. How about infirmaries is a better thing because it's a wet, moist, dark. This shit's a breeding ground for shit up in there, man. It don't have to be a disease, but it's a wet hole, man, and it's soft, it's moist. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's a growing field and shit. Now you kidding me?
God
You
damn,
jumping
Yeah,
it's
through
all
pipe,
right.
but
Wait,
you
wait a
jumping
believe it or
minute.
I
not
don't
spouts
know
though,
where
in
we are
there,
right
and all
now.
kinds of shit will be on
All
there.
right, we gotta get Economics open to talk.
Ain't nobody gonna eat no
Goodness
pussy
gracious.
with you, man.
Where we at?
I'm
All
sorry.
right, Economics. Yeah, we
You
can't
got
hear
you
you.
on mute still.
It's your audio. Yeah,
Your
we can't
audio,
hear you.
turn it up.
No.
Can't hear you.
All right. Yeah, you can go out, come back in. Maybe something's wrong with
well, let me
you.
state this point. But believe it or not, a woman can start
Okay, can you
smelling
guys hear me
weird.
now?
Yeah, we can hear
Oh,
you.
yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
good. It
Go ahead.
wasn't on before. Okay, JT, I got a question for you.
Yeah,
If you brush your teeth halfway, right? What happens?
yeah. Shit, your
If you
breath might
brush your
still be stinking,
okay, and if you don't
or you
brush it
might
at all,
have plaque.
if you don't brush it at all, what happens?
Your breath is definitely gonna stink, or you
Then if
definitely
you
gonna have cavities and plaque.
brush it very, very well, what happens?
I mean,
And
you
clean your
have
tongue. And clean
good
your
teeth.
tongue. What happens? It
You're
doesn't
gonna
smell,
have
right?
clean teeth. But
Yeah, exactly.
but
No,
the
no. There is no there is none. If you clean it good, it's not gonna smell. If you clean
that
it
but
half, I'm
let me
coming, bro.
get
Let me land. You've been talking for the past 10 minutes, right? Let me land. If you brush it halfway, if a woman cleans it halfway, it's gonna smell. If she don't clean it at all, it's gonna smell. So what is she gonna do? Is to clean the goddamn thing. That's the only thing. Because I gotta tell you this, right? 80% of women out there, their pussy smells.
so
It does.
you done?
I'm not done. 80% of them smells. And you know why they smell? Not because they don't really put soap down there, it's because they don't take their time to clean it. They got to clean the front and the back because it goes back and forth. You see what I'm saying? When they wear that pennies, the sweat goes back and forth. So they got to clean both sides and clean it really, really good. Because you know why? They still use the toilet often, right? They go to the restroom to pee and then they wipe it, right? But they didn't wash it. So it smells. There are many ways a woman, it's not just her
And
having a
Trigger Mike was
pH
solution
imbalance.
oriented. Was
It's not the only
solution
way.
oriented.
There are many things that make it smell. So she got to take care of that thing. That's why it's good that a woman showers twice a day. Twice a day. But it's recommended 3 times. But twice a day is at least acceptable.
I hope you
In
ladies
all
felt
that
good
showering,
listening
she
to
got to take care of down there. You see down there? She got to really take good care of it. So that okay, go ahead, JP.
Listen up, women.
I guess he left.
Damn. The visuals. He was having visions. That's why he left like, whoa. Now, he had to make a call and tell somebody they need to shower twice a day. But yeah, welcome to the Lapeef Let's Talk. Here, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. If you're just tuning in with us, we got Dr. Ikene, the gynecologist, giving out advice how to keep your muffin smelling good. Let me get to these super chats before we get to the next topic. My man, Mr. Rich, for the love of the game. Appreciate you. Ikene, let the games begin. Thank you. Mr. Rich says, so every single standard in the West has changed except hair. He explained that. So there you go. Advanced perception. Monique finally got her Netflix special. She was complaining. But she finally got it. I didn't even know she had a residency in Vegas. I don't know what kind of did she get a better agent or something? Because
her husband's still our agent.
Boy, they had to let that stuff die down. I'm telling you right now, I knew somehow, I'm glad they persevered through it. But in the beginning, they mismanaged the situation because for an Oscar winner, for somebody of her accolades, you know what I mean, to just be out here asking for more money. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, something going wrong.
It was her fault.
And keep in mind,
it was her fault. It was her fault.
Yeah, Mr. Payne made me think about something. Do keep in mind, some women out here men need to be honest with their women and let them know about their hygiene, because you do run into some women out here that do need a dish with a battery on it. And you have to really be, you have to really talk to them and, let them know what it is. And most men.
I think we lost him.
He'll come back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
hey, let me rebuttal. Let me rebuttal to Mr. Ikene really quick.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Turn off your cam.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So appreciate that. You do know, Mr. Ikene, that a woman can throw her pH balance off and actually start smelling when she washes with a certain type of soap. Not that she didn't wash at all, but just because of the type of soap she used. So she could be washing, but if that soap doesn't react good with her body, she could start smelling from that. But I will agree with you on the point that some women don't take care of their thing down there. But a lot of stuff women will probably have to go and see a doctor behind, and they have to get the right regimen to figure out what's going on. It's not always because she's dirty or because she's not clean.
So, JT, is your stance on this that improper soap is what's responsible for most dirty muffins?
I ain't say most now. I said some. Definitely not most. That's why I said I will give him that. A lot of women don't take care of their thing.
With black man on filter, right?
The mic, we can't hear you that well.
Oh, I said that's why I'll give it to him. A lot of women don't take care of it good, but a lot of women don't know how to take care of it good. But we can't limit it to all, and we can't.
All right, listen. Since we're out here going to be giving muff advice, ladies, I'm gonna drop the link again. We need y'all to come up on the panel.
Oh, definitely.
No, he right. He right though. He ain't wrong with his statement. But this categories to the whole situation. You know, there's a difference between a funky muffin and a nasty muffin. Okay, that's two different distinctions. Okay.
What did you tolerate and what you can't tolerate?
I'm gonna give you an example.
Okay, that's what we need.
You know, let's say a girl is summertime and she's active, right? And she's moving and grooving all day. You know what I'm saying? After a day of moving and grooving, she might have a little funky muffin. That's understandable. Fixable with soap and water. No problem. Now, on the other hand, if you move in ways you shouldn't be moving, then you have a nasty muffin. Okay? Now the nasty muffin, you can't wash. That's the unbearable smell. That's that one. You don't want that one.
So those are
there's levels.
All right. You know what?
It is
all right.
levels.
Oh yeah, we got our first. Let me get a wife school. Let me get a thumbs up.
Hey, that black man unfiltered go, man. He ain't go yet.
Yeah,
those are the women. I'll say this and I'll land my plane. Some of those women that smell like that, or you can smell them coming, especially in the corporate business, because I'm there. I've been a part of a lot of meetings where they've talked about women in the bathroom, the smells that are coming out the bathrooms when women get up off the toilet. Most of those women Most of those women smell like that because they're fucking on their lunch breaks, cheating on their husbands.
You what? Yeah, he talks about this a lot too.
And that's a fact.
That part I can't even fathom.
Oh,
Let
it's
me
true.
tell you something. All right, so when I was an instructor at a college, all right, I taught nights, and there were like incidents that would like what happened. Somebody, there's a girl in the bathroom, whoop-de-whoop, and I'd be one of the only instructors in the building, and I'm like, damn, why did y'all come get me? Because my classroom, my lab was on that side of the female's bathroom. 2 times this happened to me while I was teaching nights in like 2 years, and I had to hold the door open like, anybody in here, come out, because I'm like, do I got to call 911? One of it was a lady having an emergency. What is it called when a woman loses a baby? A miscarriage. So that one was serious, right? I just saw blood on the floor. When I opened that, what do you call it? The bathroom thing. I was like, what smell? It wasn't her that did that. She just in there. I'm like, why does a female's bathroom look like this?
Oh my God.
The 2 times I've gone in a female's bath, I could not believe the condition of the people that stress that they're more clean than men. The men's bathroom. And for those of you that have had jobs at McDonald's and places like this, really you're only dealing with pee on the floor. The sprinkle pee that that might fly out of the toilet. You mop that up, you mop around the toilet seat. That's the extent of what you get from men being nasty in the bathroom.
Except 7-Eleven. Except 7-Eleven.
Sanitary napkins on the floor. There were little speckles of what I guess used to be blood, but it's brown now. Because I'm like all over the side of the toilet. And the clean. So this is the part that really grossed me out. The cleaning people come several times a day. So it's just wave of women coming in doing the same thing. Dang. They come clean. Another wave of women coming in doing the same thing. And the bathroom looked like that between a span of 4 hours. Enough women can go to the bathroom and make it look disgusting like that. I was freaking disgusted. Nasty. And the worst part about it is that this is why women always want to use the men's bathroom. This is why, like when it's a unit, like when they don't want to wait, they want to use the men's bathroom. Women don't even want to use the women's bathroom most of the time. But wife school, we've talked enough. Please let us know your thoughts.
Oh, Mike, you're telling the truth. I'm trying to cut this TV off, but I can't because I'm trying not to get off TV. But I worked at the movie theaters, like my first job. And you had to go in and clean the bathrooms from time to time. And the women were the worst. It stank the most. Like you said, there's stuff all over the place. And you're like, damn, I don't want to touch this. And women are disgusting. They don't care. They'll go to the bathroom. They'll walk right out the bathroom. Don't wash their hands. So watch out, fellas. And when I had to go into the men's room, I had a little bit of shame, like, oh, I don't want to go in the men's room. And it's probably, I had my ideas about it, like, oh, probably disgusting because men are disgusting. No, it was actually pristine. It was pristine in there. And I was very shocked. So
Did you guys see that comment? Did you guys see that comment right there by Jared? Jared comment, man.
No.
He said that this thing is everywhere, like they will not even flush. It will be all over
they're
the
disgusting. And with the issue on my TikTok, I've been like trying to address like hygiene, because there is a point where you do wash up, you're a kid and things like that. You use the basic stuff, but when you transition to a woman, you have other concerns. You have to step that up, and you might have to do it a few times a day. And you would be surprised that a lot of women are really doing the bare minimum regarding their hygiene. And there's so many YouTubes out there to teach them, like, okay, you want to do this, you want to do that. Okay, this is how you take care of yourself after having intercourse with a man, because you just stay there thinking that you're cute. No, there's certain things that you have to do to take care of yourself as a woman, and even with the diet. And, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that I think that women, they don't really take serious until a man makes them acknowledge themselves. And they're so embarrassed by that time. But, you guys, I take my hats off to you. Either you're going to work with the woman, or you're just going to be like,
I gotta put it this way. I gotta put it this way, guys.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I give it up to you guys. You guys really go through a lot with women and are very patient. But we do need to hear from you, because you're the guys that we're interacting with. You know, women will lie to each other all day, enable each other's horrible behaviors. But the men, that's why I love men. That's why I love talking with men. I think it's very important to have male counseling, male guidance that will really tell you the truth because they love you. You know, somebody that don't want to sleep with you, but get advice from a man about how a woman should carry herself.
Well,
I gotta put it this way, right?
Real quick.
Like sometimes,
real quick before you go, I want to give the Wife School podcast. Listen, I'm gonna turn it around on you. I think we need to have more women who bring up this subject that encourages women to listen to their men and listen to the advice and the counsel of men. So I want to give you your flowers. Thank you for doing that. It would be amazing to just. I'm going to go subscribe to your channel right now, and it'd be amazing to even do a show with you or to just put you out there more and more. I mean, it'd be great.
Black Man Unfiltered, I don't have a problem with that. But also, when you start talking on these issues where you're elevating the man, they start coming out.
Oh yeah, they come.
Oh, you don't need to tell me that. Oh, who is she? She's a pick-me. She's a mammy. I'm like, well, gee, golly.
But you're married, right?
Huh?
You're married, correct?
I am not married. I must tell you that. I am divorced, newly divorced. And I know it probably broke your heart.
No.
No.
But
that means you're eligible.
I put the man in his perspective place, whether if that was learned by a lesson. But I did have my father in my life. You know what I'm saying? So he's strict. You know, he reminds me of Kine and Trigger Mike. And you know, he was like, that was it. You know, I'm like living under a rock type of lifestyle, but I know where to put a man. And even if I did go through my life and learn my lessons, I still always found that a man's opinion streamlined me to the success that I wanted to see, the results I wanted to see. So
let's put it this way. Let's put
had something on this.
Let me, go ahead.
I just saw your page, man. But you like Black Wick over here with this gun, man. What is you got going on, brother? I'm looking at your videos, man. Come on, Black Wick. What's going on with you? Why?
Israel, let me get a thumbs up. It's a profession, man. It's a profession.
Man,
John Wick.
Before y'all got off the topic, salute to the panel. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? Salute to the chat. What's going on?
What's up,
before
Israel?
y'all got off the topic, what's up? Before y'all got off the topic, I wanted to say something to that topic. Is that cool?
Yep.
Okay. So ladies, there's nothing worse than a nasty, stinking butt woman. There's nothing worse than a nasty, stinking butt woman. Like, yo, that's the worst thing on earth. That's the worst smell on earth. It's like putrid. It's like hot garbage and vomit like mixed up in one. It's just horrible. But what I would say is this: women, one thing that you could do is you could take a bath, soak in the tub. A woman should soak in the tub at least 3 times a week, I think. Besides just washing up and taking a shower, I'm talking about soak in the tub. That can make a huge difference among the other things that you were talking about on Wife School podcast. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, after you do your little thing, you know what I'm saying, clean it up and all that after, in addition to that, but soak in that tub because there's nothing worse than a dirty butt woman. And that's all I have to say on that.
All right. So
let me drop a bomb trigger, Mike, before you leave.
Yeah, go ahead.
It came to a time that I just didn't want to have sex with women anymore. I was fed up. I was like, when am I going to ever get a woman that I can just not smell nothing? And the one that I got, I married her.
Salute to you, brother. And again,
let me say this. Clean. Just in case everybody is like, what the hell are y'all talking about this for? We're gonna tie this into the black hair in the workplace thing. Just give me 1 second. The reason this is actually important is because this is almost serendipitous, y'all. Yesterday, I went to pick my child up from the school. The lady, and she's the nicest lady ever, but the lady is overweight. She's about 300 pounds, at least. Her daughter goes to the school. So on the way out of the door, because I was one of the last people to pick my child up, she's always like, hola, hola. She walked past me. You can't even call it must. The booth that hit my face. Do you know when somebody smells so bad that you can taste it? It's like the tingy taste. Once you smelled it, you get that
tasted
tinge.
her funk.
It's a tinge. I'm telling you.
You gotta do like this. You gotta do like that.
And Trigger might, when you burp later on, you might taste it again.
Oh Lord.
So the one thing that went through my head is that we are so used to telling men either jokingly or seriously their hygiene issues. There was no way for me to tell that woman that.
No,
because not only that, I'm like,
you could no way.
There's no way.
No
So,
way.
ladies, when we say hygiene is important, we're really talking to you. You have the burden of telling other women this, and that took me back to the time in college where a good friend of mine had to tell her roommate because they were like, "Why haven't you come over for dinner?" Something. I'd be like, "I got that stinking ass roommate. She always want to come out and talk." Everybody like, "Yo, what is this smell?" To the point where one of my homeboys was like, "I can't do it." He just got up and stormed out, but nobody. And when they told her, she went and got a new room assignment and moved out.
And listen, listen, though, but Trigger Mike, this is the great equalizer, though. If you think about it. Yo, that is the great equalizer to the beauty of women, because I've been around some women who are drop dead gorgeous, but that box, not so much.
You taking,
and
so
I'm not
much,
partaking. I'm not going to partake.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not going to do it.
You got to understand too that it looks like they're taking so much pride in the outside appearance on what men see. Mm-hmm. When I'm telling you, Ikene actually dropped the whole bomb. Mm-hmm. When I saw a woman, and you got to get intimate with them eventually, the way a woman took care of like the gentleness and that type of hygiene, it unlocks something in you as a man, like a new level of appreciation.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely.
Woman.
That's absolutely true.
Yo, you telling all facts. When you try to take a woman home after the club or whatever, looking good as hell, it's actually those ones that stink the worst.
Oh yeah,
let me add this.
It is those ones.
That's true. That's true, Mike. Also gives you an indication.
I had a bad experience.
That they ain't sleeping around with everybody and letting
these
guys.
Was it the same chick?
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, because and that's another thing. See, it's up to men. Like I said before, when we first started this thing. Thank God, thank you, Monique, for bringing it up, because you look like you needed somebody to tell you some shit. But the bottom line is this: enough men. We're afraid to talk about our women. Talk to our women about the real shit in general.
Yeah,
I know how hard it must be for men to tell a woman that they supposedly love, since so many men are in scarcity mindset. Hey, honey, man, you know what? Man, because first of all, women don't know how to take L's. This is the biggest fucking L you could give them.
Woo!
So that's they don't know how to take L's. You gotta be man enough to say, I might lose this shit.
They take offense to it. You're not gonna lose her, but they definitely take offense. Yo, they definitely get hurt. When you try to talk to a woman about that funk down below, like it got to the point. It got to the point. I'm like, Mr. Nikke. It got to the point where I just was like, yo, no. I won't say anything.
I think he might. Some men will lose that woman.
I mean, some men. But if she stank, wouldn't you want to lose her? Wouldn't you not mind losing her?
Well, yeah. Sometimes you got to get it off your chest. But here's my suggestion, though. Here's my suggestion. When you're gonna drop that bomb, have a little box of chocolates and a rose and some shit next to you.
Man, no. You need to tell her to wash your stinking ass. Soak in the tub and wash your stinking ass.
If you gotta wash your pants,
you should just save it.
If you want to be romantic, if you want to be romantic, hold on, Trigger Mike. If you want to be romantic, right? Draw a bubble bath, right? And then walk her romantically to the bubble bath and wash her ass. Scrub that thing. Go squash.
No, but look.
Well, you're gonna have to do that all the time because she ain't gonna learn.
So we have to break this down in detail because it is impactful. You see how Mr. Rich said, give her a rose. People are under the impression men aren't doing that. Men are absolutely doing that because these men cater more to women than men have ever had. Other men actually, like boomers and these men disregarded women. They wouldn't even talk with their woman most of the time. They would say everything bluntly, and they were more direct than the men of today. These men are actually pandering to women now in every way possible. The issue is that these women they cannot mature past, like you said, taking that L. They can't. Their minds are immature. So what you did was hurt them, and they're not going to get over that hurt easily. So now it's not, let me make the change so I can impress and keep and do what my man asked me to do. It's, forget this nigga. Let me go find a nigga that's going to take my stink pussy. Like that. That's thinking.
And God bless you and good riddance. God bless you.
Do you know the painful part?
Taking the problem off my hands.
Do you know the painful part? This is the painful part. Check this out.
Smell is the painful.
You finish having sex with a woman. As a man, you go inside the restroom. You take the restroom that you use in that's the restaurant, right? You take restaurant, and then, the restaurant itself, the liquid. You take you clean yourself. You clean right there. I do that.
Alcohol.
I'll be honest with you.
What? You put Listerine on your Johnson?
Hey,
man, I gotta be honest with you. No, listen to me, bro. It works really good. It burns.
Burning,
it burns.
Baby.
It has
Guess
alcohol.
what?
Mr. Nicky, you been need to watch.
Hold on.
Check this out. Then I shower myself.
He did not say
Listerine
Listerine on Johnson.
He did say put some Listerine. He said
I know what's going on.
Hey, he's giving us the hat.
Listen, guys, listen. Then I'll shower myself. But I'll be surprised that the girl that I finished having sex with, we're not even going to the we put on our clothes to go home. I'm like, man, go shower, man. Yeah, go shower.
If you, Mr. Wait, hold on.
Enike, I figured out something is, hold on.
Okay, I want to go after you.
I listen to Enike for a little bit, okay? Enike, I want you to answer a question for me, okay? Ekene. I need you to answer a question, Mr. Ekene. You out there buying pussy?
No. This don't lie to me. When I was in college, I did the whole. I was there. I was out there, right, in college, right. But I got to experience so many things that shocked me, that scared me, and I was like, I was done. Do you know? I went to a woman. Check this out. I went to a woman's house one time. So this lady, she and I, we met. We started talking, and then she invited me to her house. I went to her house. Guess what happened? I thought I was just coming there to just chill and talk and then go home. She wanted to have sex. Okay. Then I told her, I don't have condom. Let me run down to Walmart. 3 blocks away to go get condom. You know what she told me? No, if you step out of this house, you ain't coming back. I thought she was kidding. I said, no, I'm not going to have sex with you without condom. She's like, if you leave, you're not coming back. Man, I left.
You got to strike you while the iron's hot.
I got a question for you, Mr.
Wait, hold on. Wait, real quick. I just wanted to say one thing and then let you ask your question. Listen, if you got to put Listerine on your Johnson, that means that is not a woman that you should have had intercourse with. I'm just saying.
All right. No. I disagree.
No.
Hold on.
I use Listerine to clean myself up. Condom or no condom, I use Listerine.
No, I was gonna say
condom or no condom, I use it.
So this is actually,
I don't have sex without condom. I don't have sex without condom.
Alcohol. But the only time I've gone up with somebody's thing to get the rubbing alcohol is when, because some people are just kind of squishy like that. And they'll get all that backsplash. Yeah, they'll get that backsplash on your pubic area. So if you shave,
that's what
you try to use toilet paper, it's just gonna smear. So I've gone under this thing like, let me get some alcohol. And get it. So Listerine has alcohol.
My hairy
I wouldn't use Listerine, but Listerine has alcohol in it.
It's gonna be sticky. Yeah, it's gonna be sticky.
Listerine is sticky though.
Yeah, it is gonna be sticky.
Until I can get home.
Let me tell you, no, you guys gotta stop, man. When you finish having sex with a woman, right? Clean your goddamn self up with alcohol, man.
Alcohol. But alcohol and Listerine is alcohol.
Hey, JT has something to say. Go ahead, JT.
Clean yourself up.
Yeah, I was gonna say or shower. My question was at first, he asked. I was gonna say, do any more of the OGs, because that's what I call y'all, no disrespect, but any of the OGs know anything about that Listerine? Because I mean, y'all
No.
wash up, take a shower, use
Absolutely
white
not.
rags, stuff
As an
like
So
that.
OG,
I tried to
absolutely
break
But
it
not.
down.
Okay,
Mike,
okay.
let me go ahead,
But
Mike.
my
Let
second
me go,
thing
right?
was, we,
Let me go ahead because I'm older than most of you. I'm telling you, listen.
Then
Back
all of
then,
us. I'm like,
back
Combined,
then when I was halfway decent looking before I turned into
all of
Shrek,
us together.
I was able to. I had my experiences, and I tell you, the women back there were cleaner than they are now. However, I did the alcohol thing, but I did it not only to clean it off. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have no sore spots where the alcohol would burn.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to immediately disinfect the area from the friction and
Yeah.
shit. If anything
Yeah.
like that. So I used to do that. So but I'm telling you, I didn't run into so many women. I didn't run into a lot of women who were just putrid. Maybe one or two, but they seem to have more hygiene back then. And when I say back
Yeah.
then, I don't even want to say. I mean, look, we had woolly mammoths walking around and shit like that, but still. But the
I
point
I
is,
don't play with that shit, man. I clean it up, man. Damn.
Now
the
I
point
will
But
is,
say,
it just seemed
there's
to
better soaps
And
digress.
out there
Let me
that
Listerine,
are
yeah,
finish.
that's some better
medicated.
things than
Digress.
Like you
Listerine.
can use it's this thing called Cleanse, and this is what you wash your body before you go into surgery to get rid of bacteria. So you don't have to like go to, worry about burning your stuff off. But it's actually in the store. It's called Cleanse, and it's a
If I
medicated
had a
wash of
soft spot, I
bacteria.
would be concerned,
hey,
right? If
hey,
it like
Mr.
burned anywhere, I was holy shit,
Hey,
man. I
Mr.
gotta take.
Payne.
I gotta make sure that shit heals up or whatever the hell
Yeah,
it is.
no,
Hey,
Mr. Penn,
now,
Mr.
hey, Mr.
Penn, let me be
Payne.
honest with you, right?
Mr.
Try it
Payne, let me
out.
ask you a
Try
question,
it
Mr.
out.
Payne.
It doesn't burn like that. It burns a little. Okay, this is what it does.
Okay.
You know when you put that restaurant in your mouth, right? The way you feel that that cold, it's the same thing right there.
No,
You
I'm
feel
not
that
gonna feel the
cold.
same way
That's
right
it.
It's a little bit more.
But the
It's a
thing,
little bit
now.
more intense
no,
down on
no,
the
but the
Johnson
reason
area.
why
I'm
it's good,
telling
the reason why it's
not
good is
risking it.
this,
Not
right? It
risking it.
makes you, men. Okay, one thing we're not talking about right here is this: men do carry odor when they have sex with women that carry
you.
odor.
Of course, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
So
You're not supposed to
cleaning
have sex with women
area
that carry
kills
odor.
the odor right there. I'm telling you for real.
Wait. So,
I could
Mr.
play
Wait,
basketball
Mr.
for
Eneke,
I could play
wait. I just want to
basketball
ask
for
one
20
question.
weeks,
Hold
and a
on.
woman
I
who
just want to
stinks
ask one
and
question.
smell worse than me.
I
But
just
I
want to
can
ask one
tell what
question.
I'm telling you.
Wait. I just want to ask one question. Are you trying to
Okay.
say that your balls are supposed to be minty fresh? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be
Yeah.
minty fresh balls?
Hell no.
Minty fresh.
Minty
Now,
So
now,
fresh.
when
Okay.
now,
minty
guys, I want
fresh,
to say this real quick. I
you got
just text
that.
my daddy, man, and I said, Daddy, it's a guy on this panel, bro, saying that he poured Listerine on his pecker. My daddy said, well, he using the weak shit. He said, when I was in high school, we used Dr. Titchener's. What the hell is that?
What the hell is
It's more,
that?
no, it's more stronger. That the one your dad was using is more stronger, What it does is
Wow.
that it kills those germs. Like he attacks it really good.
Yeah, I'm
He
reading the message
attacks,
right now. He said you pour it on
yeah.
there. He said any discharge from her or the sperm
It
all get
kills
ate
it
up in
right
this
away.
ball right off your damn dick.
It
And his
kills it
I
right
must be
mouthwash
away.
on to
too.
something.
His
Does it singe
mouthwash
your pubic
too.
hairs too? Does it singe
Yeah.
your pubic hairs as well?
Hey,
Yes.
Mike's
Please,
monologue.
Is it
Mike's
can you
real?
get the name of
monologue.
the thing?
He said he
Hold
said
on.
Can you
a
A
post
part of
it?
part.
Mike's
I'm reading
monologue
it to
was,
y'all.
does this panel ever solve
Post it on
anything?
the chat
I
so
said,
that
there you go, Mike.
everybody
You're
can know about it.
solving world hunger right now and shit,
To
man.
y'all.
Yeah, there
I'm
you go.
reading this to y'all real time,
Black
bro.
man
Wait,
on
one
filter.
mic.
I'm
Let
reading
black
this to
man
Black
y'all
man
go.
on,
real time. He said he poured it on a towel and he poured it on the towel and he just
yeah,
wiped his balls, penis,
exactly.
pubic hair, and all of it just come off.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All the hair just comes
Please,
off?
can you
No,
post it on the chat?
everything, discharge, splashback, everything, bro. I'm looking it up right now. Dr.
Can you
Tishner
post it?
right now.
Can you post the name of the stuff on chat so that all
Yeah,
these
he
young
needs
men
that
can
so he
see
can
it?
stop using
Yeah.
Listerine. He needs
And
that.
I
Well,
need it
I
too.
think it's important. I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe it's
Well,
some way or
I don't have
precaution to
sex
clean
with
yourself
other
because
women, and I only have
we
sex
have
with
the
my
hookup
wife. So
culture, right? Everybody sleep. You don't know who's sleeping with who, this and that. So yeah, throw that Listerine on it and help yourself because you don't know, especially with the females, and they're off the chain these days. So I'm down for it.
Oh
Not for
Lord.
me, but maybe you guys.
I'm not
And
putting
plus,
no
like
Listerine.
being
I'm
clean
sorry.
is
I'm not
kind
gonna
of
put no
cool because it
Listerine
helps your
down.
relationship. Like Dr. Ekene said, like He didn't get married to a woman until he knew she was clean. And you don't want to have like inhibitions with your person. You just want to go all out. Like, you don't want to stop. Like, oh, girl, you stink. You know what I'm saying? You want to go all in. That's how it should be, you know?
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
What?
Look, my daddy just texted me again.
What he say now?
He said if you don't have Dr. Tishner's, he said, and you run into a bad woman with, like, if you hit it, and after, you think something really bad gonna happen after you hit it, he said he would have a jar of Blue Star ointment he would rub on that motherfucker.
Woo! Blue Star ointment hurt.
Bro,
Blue Star ointment hurt. That hurt.
He said if she got anything, that Blue Star ointment would get it off. Bro, this is ridiculous.
Oh no! You didn't even know your daddy like that, did you? You learned a lot about your daddy today, didn't you, Black?
Yeah, so your dad's a baby boomer, I would imagine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. So he's confirming what I'm saying, man.
He didn't know his daddy until today. Today he just met his daddy for the first time. He really knows his daddy now. Yes, sir.
Thank God you still got your pops around, man. You know, a lot of
salute to you and your pops. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is this: we don't know as men, right? We have to be very careful by not taking care of ourselves after sex. That's why a lot of kids, I got to be honest with you, if it doesn't work for me, I'll be lying. It works for me really good. I've never had STD in my life.
You burned the STDs out.
Not any STD. I've never had any STD at all.
Me neither, and I never put no Listerine up there. But listen, the question is, what is the proper hygiene for men? And I'm going to Mr. Payne first. What is the proper hygiene for men? We're going to go around.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, first of all, you got to wash, you got to know your own body. I mean, if you need 2 showers or 2 baths a day, you need to do that. But, first of all, if you're circumcised and uncircumcised, the hygiene standard is different for guys who are uncircumcised, right? Most of us who are Christians, we got circumcised. And I'm glad they did it for me when I didn't know the hell they were cutting half of my dick off. But
I think you got a turtleneck. A turtleneck. Oh, I think you got a turtleneck. A turtleneck. Oh.
But so the point is that it's easier. You clean yourself off, and with just regular stuff, depending on what you can take, it's not as difficult as keeping yourself clean. You just got to know your own funk level, right? You got to wash your ass and stuff. Here's one thing. Anybody who's not using more than 1 bath cloth to wash their body don't know what the hell they're doing. Right, so I have a washcloth for all shit, but for the main areas, I got 1 washcloth for that, and that's all it's for. So you don't wash your ass with the same shit you wash your face with. So you gotta know that.
You should have a washcloth for you should have a washcloth for your face. You should have a washcloth for your body, and then you should have a separate washcloth for your ass. I'm just saying. I have to clean washcloths more than anything else on the planet. Washcloths always got to be clean.
I have 97 washcloths cleaning the house.
No doubt.
I dated a girl before, went over to her crib. We did what we did. Afterwards, she took a shower, right? I was there for a couple of days. As she took a shower, she dried off, did all this other stuff, wiped everything down with the dry towel. Then she hung the motherfucker back up. And I said, what the fuck? So then the next fucking time she took a shower, she used the same fucking towel. I said, wait a minute. And I asked her, I said, don't you know that you just wiped the crack of your ass with this fucking towel? She was like, oh, it ain't nothing. I'm just drying off. Oh, hell no.
These are like little subtleties that you do have to get, you're taught about. And so, if you left up to your own devices, a lot of people don't understand that. So, so for men, it's a whole lot easier if you're just a normal kind of guy. And here's another reason why you should be able to explain to your daughters, if you have any, that the dynamics between your anatomy and mine is completely different, right? And so women, especially in the modern era, they think they could be men, and they get a psychosis and shit, saying they don't have to do stuff. And so I don't want to get into the whole sexual act thing, but the point is, you got to understand that we ain't the same. And so let me leave it there, and we can move on.
But Santa, do you want to see me personally about this statement?
Wait, what's wrong with taking
That
baths?
is so
I'm from the
hard.
city. Wait, I'm from the city. What's wrong with taking baths from the sink, fam? I'm from the New York City.
No. In fact,
we
if I want
you
to
know
be
what I'm
real
saying, in the
about it,
city, we ain't really have no bathtubs like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. We did take sink. We did. I ain't have no bathtub till I moved to the country. I'm just
Bro,
saying.
but let me say this though, because she said my ass. A girl was like, "Yeah, but when you bathe real good, your ass don't stink or whatever." And she said, "I should be able to go drop my ass on my man's face anyway." And I said, "Ma'am, listen, when you just took a shower, I want you to go down a flight of stairs and go sit back down at your desk, stick your finger in your ass, and put it up your nose. That motherfucker gonna stink. I don't give a damn what you say. That ass gonna stink."
all right. Let me get into the proper hygiene for a man, because
I smell that ass from here.
Because it's funny how we start talking about the women, they were upset. Then we said, "What is the proper hygiene for a man?" They start going nuts. They pull that skin back. That's very personal.
I think you got a turtleneck. A turtleneck.
Yeah,
a turtleneck.
Isn't it a low percentage of men that have that going on? In fact, I'm not going to speak on it. I don't have those issues. Anybody that may have deeper.
There's more men. There's more uncircumcised.
Chaotic is about to tear it up, man.
Oh, okay. Chaotic, go ahead.
I had to answer. Chaotic is from Benin, so he's about to tear it up.
He has a turtleneck. That's why you say he has a turtleneck. I think you have a turtleneck. A turtleneck.
Don't talk about chaotic.
Y'all mean kids. Y'all
that's my cousin, bro.
I had to
tell him to go get circumcised.
That boy got a camping bag.
I had to answer a call earlier, but I wanted to. Can I go back to the first topic real quick, Trigger Mike, real quick, for like 2 minutes?
Go ahead, bro.
Again, I never really speak to millennials or baby boomers because you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And by the way, I'm a millennial, but this is always for younger people who happen to be watching any of the Lapeef networks. If you work for any corporate job, if you go into law, accounting, I'll give you another example. One of the big three auditing firms, etc., whatever, KPMG, whatever, the big law firms. When in Rome, straighten your hair. Don't go into these jobs looking like Erykah Badu. Nobody wants to see that. Straighten your hair. Try to look like a beautiful white blonde as much as possible. If you wanna wear your hair like it's ancient mommy Africa, start your own business, start your own company. But when you go into a job, cut your hair, have it look neat, have it look decent. And that's the answer. That's the answer.
He said have your hair like a straight blonde woman, white woman.
A straight, pretty blonde white woman. Yes.
What in the entire is going on? How did we get here?
I'm answering the question. I'm answering the main topic.
I got to tell you,
do have a question coming up on that.
There is a big misconception. There is a big misconception that people have. I got to address it. Africans don't have those kind of hair that you guys always talk about.
That's true.
Those hairs are Fulani hairs. It's not for all Africans. It's the Fulanis. The Fulanis are the ones that do the ear.
A nomadic tribe.
The nomadic tribe. They do the ear piercing. They do the nose piercing. They don't have a home. They don't have a country. They go from the pastoral. They're nomadics. They go from one place to another due to a nomadic attitude. For pastoral, they lead cows. They move cows from location to location. So they combine the pastoral. These are black Africans. Oh. They combine pastoral and nomadic lifestyle together. But the Africans itself, I got to tell you guys one thing about Africa. In Africa, right, you have to shower 3 times. Our grandmothers, great-great-grandmothers never played about that. Your hygiene matters a lot. Hairs are cut low at all times.
Well, how come no deodorant though? What's deodorant?
I gotta tell you the real truth. I'm a very truthful African. We did not really use deodorant. That's why we shower 3 times.
So that means you're gonna be funky.
So you gotta shower 3 times a day.
Let me say this about
Hey, listen, I missed one shower the other day.
Hold on. Let me say this about deodorant because this is actually very important. My dad did not really wear deodorant, and that was so to me, growing up in an American school, I wore deodorant. I wore it every day. The They're only now coming out with natural deodorants without the aluminum, without the dyes, without the parabens.
Mhm.
That shit is actually really bad for you. And if
It's
you want to know why
cancerous in
everybody
some
is going to
cases.
have cancer in about
Mhm.
is because of these things that we think are normal. We're actually putting
Mhm.
chemicals into our body. So what I had to do, because I really started having bad reactions to wearing normal Old Spice, normal Arm & Hammer, and all that type of stuff, I had to find more natural methods. You might even have
Yeah.
to apply it multiple times a day. But
Mhm.
my dad like yelled one time where I was like, listen, it was like my graduation. I was like, Mom, whenever he puts on, you can't really smell him most of the day, but when he puts on heavy amounts of clothing, I'd be like, Dad, man, can you put on some deodorant? This dude pointed at me and said, that stuff is bad for you. He literally pointed in my face and said it. He's not putting chemicals in his inside of his body to get absorbed directly into his lymph nodes. That's what he meant. He's
I
like, this
got you.
stuff is bad for you. Read the back of it.
And listen,
Aluminum, all this
please,
stuff.
right,
So
Well,
I
hold
wear
on. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this real quick, Trigger Mike.
so
Yo, listen.
please wear
But-
deodorant because I wear deodorant every day. But please look for the natural versions that will
Just
not.
the unnatural.
But this is the thing.
Cameron
Mike,
Diaz
listen, wait,
said
hold
she
on,
had
real
worn
quick.
deodorant.
It does
I wanted
cost
to say this.
more,
I
but
wanted
it's
to
worth
say
it.
this real quick. The other day, I accidentally didn't put on deodorant for like 40 minutes. And then I did some stuff. I did a bunch of stuff, was running around, stuff like that. And then I accidentally smelled my underarms, and it smelled like a whole bag of weed. So the way my life is set up, I can't go without no deodorant. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to take my chances with all that other stuff because I need some deodorant
No,
in my
I'm
life.
saying, bro, I wear
There's gonna
deodorant
be- there's
every
gonna
day.
be-
Of
So put
deodorant,
it to you like
there's
this. My stick is
antiperspirants that keep you from sweating.
Right.
If it's
Exactly.
people that sweat, and
I
there's
just need the
deodorant that keep
anti-funk.
people from
I just need
stinking.
the
So it's
anti-funk.
like
Yeah, that's
two
the
different-
deodorant. I need the
I
anti-funk
think we
deodorant.
should let Chaotic finish his rant.
Yeah,
over
I
over-
wear deodorant every day. I wear deodorant every day. But my sticky deodorant costs $11.
Damn.
Shit, nah, my life is not set up like that. The
Well,
way
I'm
my
just
life
saying.
is set up, I ain't buying no
It's
$11
natural.
deodorant
So,
now.
Over
I
time,
no
there's gonna be
longer
better
have a
ways
bad
of
reaction to it.
controlling body
I don't
odor.
have that knot underneath that comes from that bad reaction to it, the skin peeling, none of that.
Was it native?
What's the name of your deodorant, Trigger Mike?
I
What's
use
the name?
native. I use Smitty's for a while. Let me go get the stick so I'm not up here capping. I'll be right back. This one is more like $7, $8, but I don't have a bad reaction to it. I'll be right back.
$11 stick.
Wait, has anybody smelled Trigger Mike personally before we take his deodorant
I don't
advice?
think so. Nah,
Anybody
I
smelled
haven't.
Trigger Mike? Chaotic, you smelled Trigger Mike before. Does he smell good before
I
we
heard
take
that
his
shit.
I know.
heard that.
Has anybody smelled Trigger Mike personally before we take his
smell
deodorant advice? I'm
immaculate.
just asking. I
I've
just
never
want to know.
smelled another man. I could care less about what the dude smells like.
It's like, oh damn, oh.
Yeah, but nevertheless,
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that.
But I
Listerine
gotta,
trick.
I gotta
I've
tell
done
you
that
guys,
Listerine
right?
thing.
You see, back,
Wait,
you see
Chaotic was trying to
back
talk. Y'all
home
just talk. Wait. Chaotic was just trying to talk. Y'all just talk.
Oh, go
all
ahead.
over
Go
the
ahead.
place.
Sorry.
He got
Go ahead,
two.
Chaotic.
All he said was 2 words, and y'all said, blah, 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 blah.
well,
Go ahead,
I'm used to being cut off by blacks. But here goes the thing. Again, ladies, you want to look like the kings and queens of society. And if you look at Melody Hobson, if you look at elite black women, even if they have their own, they look like royalty. They have the straight, beautiful hair. They talk a certain way, which is westernized. That is the standard. Nobody wants to see these naps. Nobody wants to see your afros, your dreads. It's not. No, I'm not saying that it's not attractive, but nobody wants to see that.
Did
Just
they
like
kick
I don't
you
want
out
to
of
see
Africa?
Hold on, motherfucker.
Wait, I'm asking, did they kick you out of Africa, Chaotic?
Sir. Whether I was kicked out of Africa or not, it is
What
the
the
truth.
Yeah, you was banned. You was banned from Africa. That's what your problem is.
Hold on a second. Straight hair on a woman is just more attractive. Let's be honest. It is. Let's be honest.
Curly hair. Curly hair on a woman is most attractive.
It is, my
curly hair on a woman is most attractive. Curly hair on a woman is most attractive.
Wait a minute. What are we gonna have like a Michael Jackson beat it knife fight over what kind of hair you guys like? It's not gonna matter at the end of the day. Let me just answer the question real quick as far as hygiene.
Niggatry.
Hang on.
Because we didn't get down there, EBD. We still up here as far as the hygiene.
That's true.
Let Chaotic finish his niggatry.
Let Chaotic finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chaotic, you should get a perm and comb your hair over if you're so concerned about things
and
being
bleach
straight.
your skin,
No.
Michael Jackson white.
That
Put
looks
your
like a
tongue in
lady
there,
stick.
There you go.
comb it
There you
over,
go. There you go,
and
wife
be
school.
straight.
Old Spice
Hold on for a
Gentleman's
second. Hold
There
on
you
blend.
for a
go,
second.
wife school. Get on it.
No dyes, no parabens, and no
You
aluminum.
got a real
That yellow
urban
stuff.
chaotic.
So that
You got a
yellow
real
stuff that's coming out on
urban.
your undershirt
Uh-huh.
is aluminum. That's the aluminum coming back out of
Wait
your
a
skin.
minute. Now hold on for a second. Now the wife school podcast salute to you.
Hold on.
But
For
what I-
Israel asked that you say I smell like nothing.
Salute to you. I've
This is
always
what I
wanted to
smell
talk
like.
to you. Hi, chaotic.
What
How
is
you
that? I
doing?
didn't say what you smell. I asked did anybody smell you before you start
This
giving
is
deodorant
Coach
advice.
for men. This is my current bottle.
Coach. That's Coach.
Coach for men.
Coach. Okay.
Hey,
Now,
Mike,
to
I
the-
got a throwback for you.
Now to
You
the
got some
wife.
curve or some jupe over there?
Curve and no.
Say
Yeah, that's
chaotic
the
truth.
thing
Mr.
they got
Chaotic.
going.
That's
Trying to
DJ
talk.
Maxx.
Boys wear.
Bro, that's
Chaotic
DJ Maxx
Truth-
cologne, bro.
I think Chaotic Truth wants to respond to the Wife School podcast. Come
Yeah,
on.
I
Go
do.
ahead, go
To
ahead,
the
go
wife
ahead.
school podcast, the difference between men and women, especially the black man, I'm made in the image of God.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm divine by nature. And so my hair is God-like. So I don't have to change my hair, sweetheart.
Oh
What
my
the woman
You
does?
do. You do.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Yes.
What the
You
woman
actually
does?
need to
Wait a
take
minute.
that
Wait,
little
wait,
inch
wait.
and a
Women
half
are
way
divine.
down.
I'm
women aren't
divine,
divine.
sir. So
Oh,
my hair is
Well,
definitive.
if,
Okay,
if
I'm
women
divine too,
came
so
from
all right.
men, aren't we divine as well? So we came from you, right? So it
I don't
shouldn't
know.
be
I
a
gotta ask
problem.
you
That's
that
a good
question.
point.
I don't
What the
know.
hell
Are
is
you
that?
divine?
It shouldn't be a
Wait,
problem.
that's
What's some
a good point.
Issey
Theoretically,
What you know about that, Mike?
theoretically
One
speaking.
mic.
What's that, King Spark? Some Issey Miyake?
I gotta
That's that
I gotta show
Issey
you guys.
boy.
I
That's
gotta
the
show
Issey
you guys
Miyake?
something.
Oh, y'all don't want me to go pull out
Hey,
the
King
whole
Spark, what
collect.
is that?
Somebody just made a comment right now about Africa and fragrance and perfume. So I want to let that person know in the comment that every perfume that you have today is made out of Africa. Especially like you see the oud, that is African trees right there. They are all made of African trees. The best perfumes on earth are made out of Africa. So if your perfume doesn't, if the ingredient in your perfume doesn't come from Africa, it's not good. That means it's all chemically made.
Let me ask you a question. So how did all the perfumes come out of Africa, but not one damn deodorant?
No, because the thing is that deodorant, right? What happened about deodorant? The ingredient of deodorant comes out of Africa. But half of the process of deodorant are chemically made, they are Western. But the main ingredient of it all come from Africa because of African trees. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, that's too. I'm sorry, that was too funny. But but I did, Mr. Eakin, like this was back in my 20s. I did actually use Scope, not Listerine. I didn't have Listerine at the time. I had to use Scope instead. But that burning sensation that you were talking about, my dad was. I think I tried rubbing alcohol out as a one and done thing. Not going back to that. I tried hydrogen peroxide. And then when I got to Scope, I'm like, this like kind of works. Like I noticed it worked better than the peroxide. So started using that for a while. And then now that I'm in the community that I am in, like hygiene is a different kind of level for us. We shower multiple times after each session. So if two people are playing, the first thing they do is they get up, they go to the one of the many bathrooms in the facility, and then they take a shower, then they get dressed, and then come back out. So yeah, hygiene is kind of practiced in the lifestyle community as well. So just putting that out there.
Hey, y'all don't want to play. Y'all don't want to have these cologne wars. That's only a third of the cologne. Y'all don't want to have these cologne
I see the
wars.
YSL.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
at the
3
office.
bottles of YSL up here.
I'm at the office. I ain't even at the house.
Y'all don't want no problems with me on the cologne.
What's your all-time favorite cologne? And wife school, I want to tell us that y'all want you to tell us. You start. What's your favorite cologne on a man?
Ooh, Fahrenheit by Dior.
Oh, Fahrenheit.
Jesus Christ.
That's what it does to you. Okay.
Chanel? Yeah, I'm a cologne freak.
I have Blue de Chanel. I have it.
Yeah, I rocked Blue de Chanel for so long that it has. If I can remember, it's the one that has like that grapefruit, like a tinge of grapefruit smell.
I have. Oh, Dion is good.
Dior.
But you know what my all-time favorite is? I can't even lie. It's 1 Million.
Oh yeah, I got that too. Lucky and 1 Million by Paco Rabanne.
I wore it so much I had to take a few years off.
The gold bar one?
Yeah, the gold bar. There you go.
Is that the gold bar one?
And it's just the gold bar, not the intense.
That one hard.
The Intense one is a little too strong. The Privé one sucks. It's just a regular Gold Bar 1 million. That's my absolute.
What you know about that Dunhill Desire?
Not a
You know about
goddamn thing. What's
Dunhill?
that?
Look into it. I like
Alright.
Dunhill Desire Blue, but they got blue and they got red, but it's called Dunhill Desire. Israel probably heard of Dunhill before.
Damn, I need to get now.
Trigger Mike, I'm about to surprise you. I'm about to surprise you, Trigger Mike. Yeah. This everything.
Trigger, which one? This one or this one?
No, Gold Bar.
Yeah.
Gold Bar. Wait, what's the Silver Bar again?
That's Lucky. That's Lucky. That's Lucky. Lucky's dope too. Yeah, I see you, Lucky. Yeah, that's Lucky.
Right there.
Yeah, I got that Gucci. Yo, man, y'all don't want me to pull out all the cologne. I love that Gucci Guilty though. I love Gucci Guilty. I ain't go for it. And Vera Wang Manhood. Those are dope.
I got your all beat, man. I got your all.
Wait. Do you have every one of you guys have more than one smell?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they have more than one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of.
I got the one.
You can mix them together, though.
Yeah,
you can mix them together.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you mix them. Yeah, and then mix another.
This is actually an important point.
You can't mix everything together.
How much? Because look, hold on. This is an important point. So Pink says, "I hate when a man has on too much cologne, and I think it smells better with what men smell." Okay, hell no, Pink. We don't smell better with unisex.
No.
That's perfume, man.
Hold on. This is an important point to make because I do sometimes I'll smell dude, did the bottle break on the floor and you rolled around? So how much cologne? Like how many sprays? So this is what I do with mine.
Look,
I go
like
each
this?
side of the neck.
No.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go behind. Look, you're supposed to go behind the ears. He's behind both of the ears.
He ain't gonna let me finish.
Dab right here.
I do both sides of the neck.
Right here. Spray right
Middle.
here. Spray right here, and in the middle.
Middle and like on the shirt. And
you
then
spray on the shirt.
I spray it on my shirt, and then one on the wrist and rub it in.
No, you're not supposed to rub it in. Wait. Hold on. Any professional cologne connoisseur will tell you don't rub in cologne. You're not supposed to rub it in.
Yes, you do.
No, you're not. This is what you're supposed to do, Trigger Mike.
You're supposed to make it hot.
No, you don't. You're not supposed to rub it in. You're supposed to spray it right here, like on your right here, and right here on your. You say on your neck, but you don't rub it in. You're not supposed to rub it in. And then sometimes if you want to get
Mike, you don't rub it in.
You put it right here. You dab. You put the spray.
You know what? Maybe I rub it because I'm trying to. Wait, I'm trying to let. This is what I do when I take it to the store. I spray it, do that, and smell.
It don't last. When you rub it in, it don't last.
You don't rub it in.
Yeah,
it depends on a certain cologne.
I just put it on my hand and I use it like lotion. I don't understand.
What you use it like lotion?
I'll spray it on my hand. And then I'll just rub like right here.
You need body oil. You need perfume body oil.
Do we have any cologne connoisseurs in the chat?
This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Instead of you rubbing it right there, you just spray right here.
Right.
Because when you hug somebody, right, they smell it.
Okay.
And the reason why you spray it here but don't rub it is because you know your pulse is right here, right?
Yeah, so this is your pulse, gestures and everything.
But and do only 2 drop on your cloth because this is why you do 2 drop on your cloth. When you have a very, very good cologne, when you wash your cloth, don't strong arm your cloth, especially if it's wool. You got to wash it tender. Check what happened when you iron that cloth.
It's your cologne come out.
Come back again. Because you need to spread it.
Yeah.
It depends on the cologne as well, because there was this guy that he was in the building. It was that Creed. So I don't know what kind of
Creed
gasoline is in Creed.
Aventis Creed. This is the thing about cologne. Everybody's body chemistry is different. So like a lot of women like that. So this is why I had to get this Dior, because that Dior Sauvage, that does not smell good on me. A lot of women like it on men.
Is that 40?
No, I don't like
Sauvage. Is that 40?
I don't like Sauvage.
That Sauvage, is it 40? Is it 40?
Okay, you know what's interesting is that cologne.
You see that cologne right there? Get it 40. The 40 is badass. When you put it, the 40 is about 600. No, the 40 is the best one. It's 40% oil. When you use that one, it's 600 and so. I think it's about $600 at Neiman Marcus. It's gonna last you almost 4 years.
Yeah, it lasts
Or
a while,
5?
but it just don't smell good on me, so I couldn't do the Savage.
Yeah, and I don't like those wood smelling ones either. Like
Yeah,
those
me neither.
Tom Ford wood. Like
Yeah,
who
yeah,
smell
yeah.
like-
Like F and Fabulous and all that. I don't really like those either. They smell like
I
old
never
white men.
tried those ones.
Yeah, that's the Tom Fords and the and even some of the Aventus, like the Aventus. Now, I'll tell you what's dope. When you mix the Aventus with this with YSL, oh my god. If you
I'll be
mix the
mixing-
Aventus
I'll
with
complicate that.
YSL, woo!
Listen,
I
Is there,
get it.
is there,
to Nigeria, my dad took it from me.
is there a
He took
page
it from me,
somewhere
like
where they
David
got
Batum.
like mixing recipes for colognes?
Yeah,
Is there
some
a
of the
page
juice,
somewhere?
yeah, some of
you
the
somebody?
colognes on YouTube. Yeah, on
you
YouTube.
guys
they
got
do
all that commercial shit, man. I got dinosaur tusk with pheromone extract.
Oh my
And that
god.
shit, man.
Oh
that
my
shit,
god.
to turn the women on, you walk by.
You might as well get
they
some
all turn
Fahrenheit
their
or
head.
some
You guys don't know what the hell y'all talking
You might as
about.
well get some Fahrenheit and some
he got some Windex with some
Yeah.
with a mint in there.
He wear
With a shook
Tesla
bottle.
You see that perfume?
That's what he got.
Richie,
All
how
right.
much is that
All right.
perfume again? How much is that perfume?
I got
That
Tessie.
perfume, how much is it? Richie, Mr. Payne, how much is that perfume?
It's priceless. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I'm
right.
not telling any of you guys.
Using
Yeah,
that pine,
Fahrenheit.
using that pine salt.
And you might as well use Fahrenheit.
Right.
Man, go back to Jupe and Fahrenheit. You need to stop.
You over there married. You using pine salt as that cologne and tracking
Hey,
with them.
Jupe smell like a public. Jupe
I smell
smells
like
like
a
a
clean
public
house, baby.
bathroom.
Come
Why
over
that's not
here.
true? Let me tell you why that's not true. I'm gonna tell you why that's not true.
Jupe
Because
smells like
after
a public
30
restroom.
after 36 years, let me finish. Let me tell you why that's not true. After 36 years with my wife, I came down and I teased her and I said, let's get it on. And she said, anytime, baby. And then that was the moment when I figured out that I was writing the check my ass couldn't cash right then and there. So after all that time, she's still ready. And that's it. So that's
So it's the cologne. You think it's the cologne? It's not
It's the cologne.
It's the cologne.
She said, man, I want you after all this time. You look like Shrek and shit. And go back. It don't fucking matter.
That's because you're a good husband. It ain't got nothing to do with the cologne. You're a good husband.
Hey.
You're a good man to your wife.
Hey, you look like the black, Mr. Clean with the.
It don't have nothing to do with that Tessie. It don't have nothing to do with that Tessie cologne. Why are you trying to mislead young men, trying to get them to get some Tessie?
All right. I got a question. We're gonna start with EBD because this is back on the Black Hair Perspective. If you started a company and wanted to hire a black CEO, what hairstyles and hygiene preferences would you want them to have? EBD, we'll start with you.
I'd say I'd want them to look more like Drake with a fade rather than Coolio. Only because not to say that their skills as artists aren't different. But we're talking about an image. When you're talking about a CEO of a company, you're talking about the image of your company and what it kind of represents and stands for. And you kind of want a professional face on that. And you're gonna want someone that other people can look at and can tell this is someone who is running a serious business rather than this is someone who's not about that life, doesn't know what he's doing, and maybe a little bit too flashy and probably it's going to be out of place in most social environment and settings of someone of that caliber. So yeah, you kind of want someone who's going to look the part. They're going to walk the walk, they're going to talk the talk, and you're just going to know it. It's not going to be something that you can look on a piece of paper. It's going to be about meeting that person.
So if I started a company and wanted to hire a black CEO, what hairstyle and hygiene preferences would I want them to have? Of course, I would just want them to be clean. They could wear their hair however they want to wear it, as long as it's clean. Because I've seen some people with locks that wear their locks very, very nice. Women and men, that their locks look really clean. They're braided up there in the design and they look really sharp. You know what I'm saying? You could do a lot with locks, when you twist it a certain type of way. So, oh yeah, my brother, look. Yeah, that's sharp. That's sharp right there. JT, that's sharp. I see you. Yeah. So you could, I see you.
Yeah, JT, pay attention to that driving, bro, so you don't crash your truck.
Yeah. So you could have different kind of designs, You muted, JT. Look, you could have different kind of designs.
I'm not driving.
Okay, JT, you got different kind of designs and different kind of things. As long as it's clean, as long as it's neat, as long as they're clean cut, and as long as they smell good, you know what I'm saying? They have good hygiene and they smell good. I'm cool. I wouldn't try to have no restrictions on what a person's hair type should be, because that's a reflection of their personality and how they express themselves. And I think people should be able to express themselves how they want. You're next.
Okay, for me, this is what I'll tell you. When it comes to hiring a CEO to run a company, if the CEO is under the age of 45, I'm going to say he has to shave or have a good trim right here. But he has to have mustache and a regular, you know what I mean? And then his haircut has to be low. He can't have a full haircut because number one is this. You got to know that when you depend on how exposed your company is going to be and to the client is going to be exposed to, men above the age of 50 don't change. And they get turned off by outlook because they actually value the outlook of any human being. They are very, very image concerned. But then if the CEO is going to be above the age of 40 or above the age of 50, I'm going to say that I can tolerate, white hair around his hairs. He doesn't have to dye his hairs because men with silver fox are very, very respected among their peers. So to me personally, you cannot have dreadlocks. You have to cut low, and you have to be neat. You have to be neat completely. Nobody can see all those dreadlocks running down your head. No, I'm not going to accept that. It's just my thing.
I would say I'm more like what it is. You just got to be neat and clean with it. I will say this: all this talk about hairstyles in the workplace. I also believe that if you are in like a cubicle or if you're in an office, then you should be able to wear your hair how you want. I mean, that's not really infringing on anybody's space or anything like that. Now, if you're sitting at a call center, then I would have like be more strict on hairstyles because you could probably actually offend somebody that's sitting right there. And as far as hygiene, you just got to be so fresh and so clean. But I don't like people who smell like their house. That's kind of
What
people
does
smell
that
like
mean?
their house. No, they literally
Oh, you
smell
talking about
like
like the
their
food
house.
and stuff like that
No,
that they
they
make?
smell like a little bit of fried chicken, a little bit of Windex, a little bit of. They smell like they literally smell like the inside of their house.
Oh no.
Anyway, besides that, that's all I got.
I had the wife school and then go down.
You guys are so funny. I don't care. Okay, the person has to be neat, well kept, and clean. I don't care what their hair looks like or smells like. If you can get the results that I'm looking for, that's all that matters. Plus, you know what I'm saying? Just be courteous and, wash up and things like that. Because I've worked with people that they're good workers, but they were just smelly. And that was a hazardous to everybody. But it's like you have to leave it up to management to say, hey, pull them to the side. You need to do this and do that. But
Isn't
look
that a
at
form of
Jay-Z. He's a billionaire, and I don't know what's going on top of his head, but obviously he's savvy. And we shouldn't characterize somebody's ability to lead or to manage or to get results based on their hairstyle. So I would just say, have the results, prove yourself, be that man, but also be well kept.
I had a quick question for your wife school. Isn't that a form of workplace harassment if you're too stinky? Wouldn't that be like harassment? You know what I'm saying?
No.
And then Jay-Z has the hairstyle of Basquiat.
Yeah, Basquiat.
Basquiat. Yeah, he took that hairstyle from Basquiat. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, look, he's able to network, connect, invest in people, and get results, and show that you can be a creative and be highly successful. You know, I would assume that people would want to be results driven and not necessarily your dreadlock saying like, oh, people are offended. They don't want to work with me. But go ahead, work with somebody else because you're not my, customer. That's
But
fine.
didn't he do that after they was teasing his daughter about her hair? Didn't he start wearing his hair like that after they started teasing Blue Ivy about her hair?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But Black Man Unfiltered is next.
Black Man Unlimited.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered. I'm sorry.
Black Man Unlimited.
The Black Man Unlimited.
Hey, that's good too.
Yes, sir.
Is he there? Black
I
Man.
think he's out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's out. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so let me go. Listen, let me tell you this. If I don't care what the guy looks like, if he's a candidate for CEO, he passed all of the other restrictions that came up. If his hair is in dreads, or if his hair is neat, it's low, and he's clean shaven, any man who's a candidate for CEO, he's a candidate for reasons other than his appearance, right? He's a producer. So listen. So I understand what everybody wants to be clean cut. And I agree with you, Trigger Mike, and with Chaotic, that for the most part, if you want to conform and not stand out, you could shave your head, do all this shit, put the suit on and all that. But that's not for everybody. Just people who are just so good. It doesn't matter what they look like as long as they're clean. And let me tell you, if a guy's a candidate for a CEO, he's already passed all of those points. So I'm not going to give a shit about his hair, or else I wouldn't have been talking to him. That's what I'm saying. So, it's all about merit then. It's all about merit. He brought in the money. He brought in the ideas. She brought in the money. She brought in the ideas. I'm not going to pigeonhole them because of their hairstyle at this point, or else they would have never been a candidate. So that's just the way I look at it. So I mean, I hear all you conformists and all that kind of shit. I don't disagree. I think more than one thing could be true at the same time. It's a big world. There's a lot of money out there, and you could make it in a lot of different ways. There's no one way to make it anymore. It's just not.
You bring up an interesting point. I don't even know how I want to say this. So everybody with the skills to run, the skills and temperament, because, I've been in corporate. That's the term. Skills ain't everything. It's really temperament. Everybody with the skills and temperament to run a company isn't clean cut. But it's usually only the clean cut people that want to run a company. It's weird. Let me
That's true.
No, I think it's true. Like when I'm telling you, the simple fact that people even style themselves in their hair in a certain way means they understand that they don't want to have anything to do with that business field. I promise you it's true. The only it'll probably be less true and a little more malleable in the Gen Z, right? But even the person that starts the company that may be wearing their hair wild like a Jack Dorsey Twitter CEO type of, they created the damn company. They're a genius.
Okay, let me.
Right?
Can I answer that before anybody else says?
It's like 1 out of 100 people. Everybody else knows that they're gonna have to.
Can I
look
to your
certain
point?
Yeah.
Can I talk to you? I hear your point. Okay, I hear your point. I'm not going to disagree. I told my wife when I put my head down, I look like the alien and shit with that the fucking alien with it. Because the bald thing, I look like the alien coming out. But here's the thing. That's why I'm saying that a guy who looks the way he wants to look, who's a candidate for CEO, if he has dreads, if he's not conforming, that guy has to be one of the baddest dudes out there. If he got to that point where he's a candidate, or she, I'm going to say that, not just for you whites, if they got to that point the way they want to look, that means their production is so great. Because everybody else who's their competition is those clean-cut guys. Why is he in the pool? He's in the pool because, or she's in the pool because they produce. And so I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying if I agree. If I was the guy who's making a choice, I'm not saying I'd pick them, but I would overlook the way they look because they shouldn't be.
I understand your point now because I actually agree with that. Remember, my ultimate point is that, remember I said yesterday, excellence transcends everything. It transcends everything. So that's my ultimate belief. No matter how you want to wear your hair, if you found a way to stand out, and it's usually, and you'll see that with a lot of startups, if you are the person, if you're the plug, you get to make the rules. That's why I'm saying, if you want to wear your hair,
you keep qualifying it. It could be for the CEO of a big company too.
Well, so that's what no, this is what I'm saying. But that's where, hold on, that's where the reality comes in. Most CEOs are not going to look like it. In fact, none look like that right now. That's what I'm saying.
That's not true.
Well, Fortune 500, name me one that looks like he smoked weed all it. Like, name me one.
Why you gotta
Jack Dorsey? Jack Dorsey is the only one.
I was just about to say they do coke in the bathroom. I was about to say they do coke in the bathroom.
Wait. Fortune 500, Wall Street, all the top 1%. The reasons why we even have a drug trade is because of these people who can afford to fly and ship all of it in
I
here.
do have a name for you.
They do coke in a suit.
I do have a name for you.
Huh?
So Mike,
they even have a little Coke bottle with the cup.
So Mike, what
See,
you
Trick
telling
Mike,
me?
look at
What
you.
hold on,
You
Mike, what you
saying
telling me?
and these dudes doing coke. That's messed up.
I work in corporate. Y'all don't think I know about these people?
So look, you telling me you would rather be under the leadership of a dude that does coke in a suit than a dude that smoke weed?
So y'all are literally breaking it down to a level I did not break it down.
Wait a minute. That's a real choice. You know what? Now that I'm hearing him say that, that's a real choice. That is a real choice.
What are you saying?
I do no illicit drugs at all. I do, so I don't have that. First of all, because now I'm watching Power. If I'm not gonna stick around anybody doing that like the way they be doing it.
Yeah, why you come up on the show? I wanted to talk about that. Why you come up on my show earlier,
I think that's a real question. I think that's a real question of whether or not you want someone who does coke or weed as CEO, because they're going to do one or the other. That's how. Because because CEOs, hang on. I worked for small businesses, things like that, and I have to work along CEOs. CEOs are not normal people. They're not normal human beings. They move through the world and the universe different than normal people. They have their own language. They have their own social circles. They have their own restaurants, their own friends, their own stock tips, whatever it is. But they do. But part of that world is drugs. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
And it's prostitution, and it's marriage that are open, and it's all this underground fetish.
The one distinction. So here, the one distinction I need to make on what y'all are talking about, the degree to which they're able to keep their job is the anonymity of the fuck shit they do.
Right.
So they're not doing any of this in the open.
Right.
So all this stuff where we see
it's underground.
Exactly. It's all underground.
But can I ask you a question?
The one thing you know about underground is exactly. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the type of stuff.
Before we get too far.
And if you are a CEO, the one thing I can say is there are conformists in public and a complete ratchet ass person in private.
Hey, Trigger, can I ask you a quick question before we get too far? Now that you mentioned power, man, and this was a question I wanted to ask. Like, what do y'all feel or think about the fact that they just be throwing in these random sex scenes, these random homosexual sex scenes out of nowhere? Like it's not even in the storyline. It's not even, and it's just like they throw it in, and it's like what?
I haven't seen the series.
Before you go there, Mike, let's finish the last two.
Wait, hold on. But he was just talking about power. I want him to answer.
No, I'm not saying forget it. Why don't we just finish going around and come back to that?
They're pandering to a certain type of fan base, bro.
I can't stand that they do that out of nowhere. It just be so random. You'd be like, and it'd be like, what the?
Like, look, what's that show? As much P Valley, I can't.
P Valley.
No, I cannot watch P Valley.
I can't with that show.
We're gonna get the real.
Look at White School Face. Look at White School Face.
I'm not watching P Valley for nobody.
It brings in money at the end of the day. That's the answer to the question. It brings in money.
No, but it just be random. Like it just like the scene just be out of nowhere. It don't even come from nowhere. It just be random.
It brings in money. It brings in fuel.
That brings in because that community has a very profitable fan base. A lot of the people who support that or participate in that are very rich people.
Right, and homosexual scenes have been banned from television forever. You're now witnessing probably the first 20 years it's been on screen in your face where someone can see it. Forever, you had to go to, think about this, adult content and adult films. There's always the straight heterosexual stuff that you see. It's in magazines, For lesbian and gay stuff, there's always a separate aisle. There's always somewhere else you have to go to find stuff like that.
Anymore.
Well, not anymore. But I'm saying, like, you know what I mean. But you know what I mean, Mr. Payne.
But
back
they
in the
didn't
day,
used to show.
it
They
was
didn't
all
used to
separate.
show, like, even back in the day. They didn't used to show illicit sex scenes even between heterosexual people. Like, it's crazy. Like you would have to go and get a corn. You know what I'm saying, with the P in order to see it. Like, you know what I'm saying. But now it's like they show that, but I just don't think that's very tasteful. I mean, no matter what you want to do, that's your business. But I just don't think that there's a place to show that kind of stuff on a regular show.
Now that you mention it, I'm gonna put a bug in everybody's face and ear because you're not gonna unsee it. Every single show on TV now has gay and lesbian stuff in it, and we also show that any black man, other than the top guys that we know, is a homosexual now. Every black woman who's in charge is a lesbian.
Yeah. They even brought it to the cartoons. They said Burning Ernie off of Sesame Street were homosexual. Now.
Yeah, so
cartoons
they're not
not even supposed to have sexuality.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Netflix. I watch a lot of Netflix.
You say you're moving back to Africa?
Move back to Africa.
You going to Uganda? You going to Uganda where they don't play that?
So look, Payne. Let's take it a step. Let's take it a step deeper, then, right?
Okay.
If we know all this stuff that exists, right? You got to realize that all the powers that be, all the dudes in the suits, all the people who you call them professional, all the people that live in those neighborhoods are all co-signing this shit to the grave.
Exactly right. Exactly
So
right.
that's why when we get to talking about that stuff, you get to talk about respecting these people and respecting these people and respecting these people and being professional and what the standard is that they set. It's the standard set by some evil ass, backdoor, slight-handed.
That's
dude.
a great point.
So that's why I don't try to be like them.
That's a great point.
I don't try to be like them.
Remember, I had to make the distinction. We can't keep associating professional and standard appearance with, like, Europeans. Africans have this standard for their executives. Asians have this
through the colonization of Europeans. Yes. Listen, hold on. Trigger Mike, listen. The suit is a European object.
I'm not even talking about suits. What I'm saying is,
so you telling me in Africa, right? Because I've never been to Africa.
Hold
on. Let me ask you a direct question. You telling me in Africa, right?
Listen to what I'm saying.
And clean cuts.
Do you know why? Because I don't even want to say a colonization standard. I'm gonna say military standard. Do you know why they make everybody shave or do all these type of things? Not even just for operations and gas masks. It's because if you don't set a standard, people become unpredictable. So when you say, how do you want men to standardize themselves in a workplace? Well, damn, if we say a certain length, black men hair is curly, so their length is different than other people's length. How about everybody just shave it off then? That's how you develop a standard. Everybody's going to default to something that looks like the same thing. Neat, symmetrical haircut. Because if you say hair length, then you have to debate on how long. So then you're just going to say short hair. Everybody ends up having the same standard. Clean, neat, symmetrical cut, low bulk on the side, right? That's why I don't like, as black people, when we debate this, because white people have the same standard, Asians have the same standard, Middle Eastern people have the same standard. Everybody understands that.
Arabs don't, because Arabs wear the thing around their head. The same way they say beauty, they wear the dress and the thing around their head. The same way they say beauty is symmetry, right? And we can distinguish between fat and fit. We can distinguish between neat and unkempt. It's the same for everybody. But
Mike, Israel. Here's what I think. Here's what I think the miscommunication is. Here's what I think where the disconnect is. What I think what things are being conflicted is what is that? Anyway, there's professionalism and then there's code of conduct. So every person in China or India, when they're CEOs, it doesn't have to be the suit that they wear. It's the professionalism, as in code of conduct and how they carry themselves and behave. And that's what kind of you guys are kind of fighting over. Everyone has a code of conduct when you reach a certain pinnacle.
It's not even, let me add a
tribe.
word to that. Let me add a word to that, EBD. This is the word I was looking for. This is why I made reference to the military. It's uniformity is what they're trying to achieve among people. If you want to display a certain image, the one thing you understand is that let people leave it to their own interpretation. They always going to take that shit too far. You know that with raising children. You know that with leading a staff. If you don't set clear rules and boundaries, people will abuse that shit. So everybody on earth that has an organized civilization or an organized any kind of structure, you are going to default to the same thing. I'm telling
you. Israel and King's Park. I got a question for both of you.
I ain't even answered the question yet.
Oh, Paul. No, my bad. Go ahead, JT.
JT, go ahead.
All right, so
hold on, we got to turn.
You sound far away
put
though,
your mic,
JT.
you
put your thing.
I think it'd be connected to a different mic, but if you started a company and wanted to hire a black CEO, what hairstyle and hygiene preference would it be? So hygiene preference, of course, it's just got to be clean. You got to take a bath. You can't stink. So that's simple. That's down to the bottom of it. Hairstyles. To me, the question, I don't think y'all paid attention, but he said if you hire a black CEO, a CEO is a boss, and when it comes to money, making money, people don't care how you look, what you doing, or as long as the business is profitable. People do business with people they don't even like, people they hate and despise. When it comes to money, people gonna do business with anybody. So the hair just gotta be clean. And I got a bone to pick with Mr. E. Kinane, because Mr. E. Kinane, he's part of the problem with the stereotyping when he said dreads and then came back after that and said you can't have dreads, it has to be clean, pretty much assuming that dreads are dirty or dreads are nasty. We can't do that because my hair is real clean. Dreads are sometimes cleaner than regular hair. It's not always when somebody has locks or dreads that is nasty, or if somebody got an afro or more hair than normal, that it's got to be dirty or nasty just because they have more. And then on top of that, I mean, the generation that's coming up, the generation under me, or the generation I'm in, wherever y'all want to put me at, Gen Z, uh, they coming in and just sweep over and take the spot now. So for real, it really don't even matter what we discussing, because they gonna set the new standard. They about to be the new CEOs, because I guarantee y'all are gonna see a lot more different color hairstyles, wilder colored hairstyle CEOs, more out there, more poppy type CEOs.
Okay, JT, let me help you out real quick, JT. When we were around your age, right, we used to think like that we're gonna come and swap and change everything and just do it. But I gotta tell you, men are different from women. Women change. Men become conservatives as they age. So what happened is that by the time you turn 25, you're gonna drop shit that you did in your 20s. By the time you turn 30, you're gonna drop things you did in your 25. By the time you turn 40, all those change. You don't even want to change anymore, because guess what? Men don't like to change. You see that afro, you see that those locks that you have or dreadlocks, you're gonna cut it off in about 7 years and you don't want it anymore. We all went through that. I had it.
Maybe not. You can't say that.
No. There's a reason why I said this.
That's not necessarily true.
I know. I understand, Israel. Just check this out. Of 100 men that start dreadlocks, right? 30% of them go bald. They don't have hairs no more by the time they turn 40. Another 30% of them.
Issue.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to tell you what happened. So the ones that don't lose their hair, almost 75% of them don't even want to do that anymore, because guess what? They have more responsibility than to spend hours doing hairs. You see, only about 3% end up keeping their hairs like that. Most men get rid of it. They don't want to deal with it. I used to carry my hair just like you. I gave it up by the time I was 24. I was done. In fact, I gave it up. I first given it up from the age of 19. By the time I was 24, man, I have other things to do with my money, not to be doing hairstyle. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about life is this. What you're saying about change, or maybe the way I was talking about hairs and stuff. In Africa, right? Just like just like here in the Americas, right? African men are made not to carry too much hairs. It's just something that comes naturally with us. You see? So if you have about 100 African men, when I say African, I mean both blacks here and blacks in diaspora, the same thing. If you look at we blacks, right, you find out that of 100 of us, only 3 or 4, no matter the demography, carries hair or braids their hair. It's not that many people. And it's always going to remain like this for a very long time.
You don't think that's genetic with going bald? If you go bald, no matter what hairstyle you had before, you're gonna have to
No,
shave.
but with the dreads, it's the hairline pulling back. Like
it's strain. It's strain on your scalp.
Let me.
But that doesn't have anything to do with changing your mind on having dreads. That has
No,
something to do with
bro.
going
No,
bald,
listen. Hold
even if
on.
you
He's
had a low
actually.
top.
So he's actually. I don't know the numbers on it, but he's actually right when basically it's a natural progression of life.
Right.
So, this is why I said it yesterday. This is why I'm gonna default to. My wife was like, "Well, what's wrong with our son wearing dreads if he wants dreads?" It's like, you know what? I was like, I'm just not gonna do it because here's the thing: do I care about the hairstyle? No. Do I think he could be professional and what's going on in his head is different because he has dreads? Absolutely not. But I said I cannot stop people from stigmatizing him because of his hair. So that's a strike. I can't stop. I worked in corporate. I know people are going to discriminate. So I've been exposed to that. So does that weigh against him in a hairstyle? This is the thing. People, and this is because men have adopted.
Pigeonholing your son.
Hold on. You got to let me finish on my own show. You got to let me get it out. It's not pigeonholing him. This is actually what I'm telling you, because the people who think of like me, we actually end up having better outcomes. I'm sorry. So this is actually proven. I'm not going to let my son do all of this stuff simply because here's the funny thing about it. The hair becomes the symbol. And this is actually what people do when they get these jobs. Hair is not that fucking important. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not. It's not that important. You then make it out to make it a cultural statement and an ethnic statement. We make it an ethnic statement when it's not supposed to be. No man is supposed to give a fuck about hair this much. We're men. Now we're doing what women do by saying, I should be able to wear my hair however I want to. Guess what? Hair was never that fucking important in the first place. I'm here to do a job. I'm here to show the world what I can do in a professional sense and all of that. That's why I said you don't have to care, especially if you're in certain fields that don't care, right? If you do whatever the hell you want to if you're in certain fields. But men don't give two shits about hair this much anyway, but we make it a big ass thing because that's what black people do in America.
But you're
we want to be accepted.
A big ass thing. Mike,
I think it's just limiting yourself because
no.
I mean,
hold on for a second. Let me finish, JT. Listen, you're the one making it a big thing because you want your son to have the widest range of opportunity, which is understandable. But just say that. Just, all the rest of it, well, you got your point. I'm just saying, I'm not disagreeing with you. But the real issue is you feel that if you can control what your son wears on his head, he'll have the broadest opportunity, which is a good argument, right? But as far as, whether a man is arguing I could wear my hair, you're arguing just as much against that. You and chaotic. So I'm not arguing with you guys on that, but the real issue is you want your son and your kids to have the broadest opportunity, and I'm not going to argue against that. But that's what
Trigger Mike, let me answer this real quick, please, because Mr. Penn didn't add my name when he said chaotic and Mike. He should have added my name to that.
If I could pronounce your name right, I would say
you should just say all the Africans. You should just say all the Africans on the panel.
Okay, all the Africans on the panel.
Okay.
Yeah, let me put it this way, right? We are raised by our parents with understanding that you own this house, you made the rules. If you're going to stay in this house, you follow the rules. You see?
I agree with that.
They don't care what you do when you leave the house. But one thing I got to tell you, Mr. Payne, is this. When you don't speak, right, the kids get misled. Somebody will tell them. If you don't tell them, somebody else will tell them. That's life.
I'm with you on that.
But no, I'm heading somewhere. So one thing my father told me that I never forgot, he said, keep talking, keep speaking, keep saying it.
Right.
Because when you're not there, when they on the other side, guess what they're going to do? They're going to keep remembering what you said. And what you said will keep leading them to the right path. So don't stop talking. It doesn't matter what they decide to do tomorrow.
Let me answer you on that point. One of the things I told my daughters, I don't have any sons, is that no matter what you do, I tell them to remember the face of their father from what I tell them. So you make a decision, I want you to remember my face before you do something, right? Because I think I arm them with stuff. My issue with what Trigger Mike is saying, it's not even an issue. And what you're saying is that I think the argument is wrong. I think all you have to say is that I just want my kids to have the broadest opportunity that's out there. So that's why I want their hair in a certain, a reasonable style so nobody will reject them. But the conversation of saying you should wear your hair this way or that way, that's what I have a disagreement with. So I don't have a disagreement with the broadest opportunity. And that's where you guys are coming from. I could agree with that. But when a man comes, go ahead.
I don't want to be misunderstood. I was gonna say I don't want to be misunderstood because I basically said anybody wear your hair however you want to.
But that's not your argument, brother. Your argument is I'm saying
re-listen to my monologue. I said wear your hair however you want to, but you just cannot change the global standard.
I'm not talking about changing the global standards. Yeah. What you're saying is you want your kids to have the broadest opportunity. And by doing that, they have to have their hair in a certain global standard. And I don't disagree with that. I'm saying that there's a let me just finish this. I'm over. There's a certain amount of men who don't give a shit about the global standard, and they're willing to take the consequences of that.
That's what I said.
That's why they broke and poor.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Let me get in on this. So, okay. So, I understand.
Nobody should bother them.
I definitely understand and respect your point on it, and just, the hair and the global standard thing. But my thing is, we can't keep living in that mindset. I mean, it's 2023. If we living in that mindset, then what's gonna be next? Because we already know how people feel about us just because of the color of our skin. Are we supposed to go bleach our skin now because we're gonna get stereotyped of being black? So it really don't matter what the hairstyle is. It's like you're not gonna run from that. If somebody want to stereotype, they're gonna find anything to stereotype. Your toenails too long. They're gonna find anything to stereotype you about. So it's like at some point we gotta grow out of that. The victimization mindset.
Who told you your hairstyle is African? Who told you that? That having hairs on your hair is African.
But that's beside
he didn't say that. It don't matter. It's African American. How about that? It's American. African American.
It's not African
American.
African American. It's not African
American. Let me say something.
Let me say something when you get a chance.
Let me say something real quick.
Let me respond to.
Well, we know it's not a white thing, Mr. Ikene.
Hold on.
No,
let me respond to the person that said,
we know it ain't a white thing.
Mr. Ikene want to bring up Africa every time.
Because you said it's black. When you say it's black, it's Africa.
No, but black is black in America too, Mr. Ikene. Don't do that. It's not only Africa.
You have to specify. Your color skin is my color skin. You know that, right?
But we are American. Okay. We have a different. Wait, hold on, real quick, Trigger Mike. This is the thing, right? We have a different perspective, and we have a different origin story than you all have. Yes, you all have been born in Africa, or your parents were born in Africa, whatever the case may be, and you migrated here, right? You are direct descendants of people that are from Africa. You could tell us what tribe. Wait, hold on. Let me finish my point. But listen, the difference is you can identify. You can say, oh, I'm from Nigeria. I'm Igbo tribe, or I'm Yoruba. Hold on, let me finish. I'm Igbo, I'm Yoruba, I'm this, I'm that. You have an identification in Africa that's direct. We do not have that. None of us can sit here and say, oh, our parents are from Mali, or our parents are from Kenya, or our parents are from the Sudan, or our parents are from this. We don't have that. Our parents are from whatever state they're from. Our parents are from whatever state they're from in America. So our position and our disposition is based on our region and where we come from. So his hairstyle,
being a minority,
right? His hairstyle is definitely a hairstyle that Black Americans have.
So let me, because this went way the fuck off. No, like literally, I need everybody to go back and listen to my monologue again.
No, I didn't. I wasn't challenging your monologue. I heard what you said.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
not challenging
wear your hair however you want to. And I told you basically, other people, as a Black person, I understand the complexity and creativity of Black hair. I do not expect, nor will they ever care to, any other person other than Black people care about the complexity and creativity of Black hair. So will I discriminate against a Black person with dreads? No, I won't. I won't. Unless I'm creating a company that needs to have an image that markets to those other people, I don't need to do that. I understand that the mind of a person in general is just what is the most valuable thing. But let me make a statement to somebody who said that I should cut my beard, because you obviously didn't listen to what I said either. This is a picture of Trigger Mike. Okay, this is a picture of Trigger Mike when he needed to be in standard with cutting his hair.
Ooh, look at Gary Coleman. Look at Gary Coleman.
This is a picture.
What you talking about, Willis?
When I needed to be in standard, I was. Now I'm the boss. I make the rules, so I can wear a beard. How about that? That's exactly what I'm telling y'all.
Hey, why was you looking like Gary? Wait, why was you looking like Gary Coleman?
I got to keep hitting.
Let me ask him a question real quick.
Because JT is a young man. He's a young man. Okay, I got to hit JT hard again. JT, $5 million.
JT.
Your bridge. Which one do you take? $5 million salary. Every year you get paid $5 million as a CEO of a company that will go out there and represent your company. You get $5 million for that, versus keep driving truck and you get 200,000. Which one are you going to take?
If it's a gaming company,
if I'm the CEO of my company, then I can have my hair however the fuck I want.
Wait. CEO answers to the board. CEO is not just the quote unquote owner or whatever. You answer to stockholders. You answer to other people. You just control and set the standards and the visions of a company.
You got to get out of here. Mr. Ikene just made the best point. The literally the most critical point. Every single one of y'all will conform for the right goddamn salary. I'm sorry, I don't believe. I don't care what any of y'all say. Somebody come to you is like, listen, we putting together an outfit. We want you to be in charge. Could you consider cutting that hair? We're gonna give you $1 million a year. Oh, y'all.
Why are we talking about? Why are we talking about extremes? That is an extreme. That will never happen to anybody. Ain't nobody gonna walk up to you and offer you that.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Mike. I'm not wearing the booty face.
For nobody, no doubt. For nobody. I would never go back.
What booty face?
That booty face. That booty face. Yeah, that booty face. Not for nobody, Mike. Not for nobody, Sugar Mike. Not for nobody.
There was a show called Living Single, and there was this guy who has dreads. I forget the character's name.
Kyle Barker.
Kyle. So he had dreads and he had a corporate job. Yeah. So there was another black. So the Israel, you know the episode I'm talking about?
Yes.
It was where the issue was about his hair. He's like, hey, you're in a corporate business now. We're doing business with you. You might want to consider like losing that hair. So he was given a choice, like, hey, you can continue to do business with us because you're in a corporate thing now, but we want you to change your hair because we're concerned about the quote unquote image. So the whole show was about whether or not he should cut his hair in pursuit of his career. So at the end of it, he came to the presentation and said, hey, man, I like the business and I want to do business with you, but I cannot change my hair. It's who I am. The suit, like the suit is Versace. This is linen and this is, I'm all fitted out. I'm not changing the hair. I'm sorry. And the other CEOs were like, well, we never cared about your hair. Like, who told you that? And then it was, then it found out and then everything worked out. But that's a television show. But people face those kind of choices in the real world every day, whether or not you change your hair based on whether or not this business deal gets done. That is a real choice that adults have to make.
But see, if they came out and said it like that, then at that point it's a lawsuit for discrimination.
That's discrimination.
Hey, look though,
I understand that. I understand that, but it's an but we're talking about people like choices that people have to make when we're talking about moving forward with business. We're not talking about we're talking about signed contracts. We're talking about image.
We're missing the mark there still. Hold on.
Man.
Check this out too. Listen to this though. This is how I hear the conversation. So it sounds like we need to create an infrastructure among each other when little bullshit like that don't matter. Because if Trigger Mike Firearms is now one of the biggest corporations, whatever, and I got $1 million business for you, and I got brothers that got dreads, and we living on that level, Trigger Mike, is you gonna tell me you're not doing business with me?
Trigger Mike might not,
because what I'm saying is that he might, but right now we have to move the needle a little bit to where if we do business with each other and build each other up in a sense, we don't have to look at minuscule things like that the greater society that may look at to try to. So you know what I'm saying?
You're making the ultimate point, but you're making the ultimate point. But it will always be 10% of less or people, no matter how great we move as a society, that work in entrepreneurial endeavors and do what they want. I wake up when I want. Well, I take my kids to school. I go back to sleep if I want till I write this show. I'll work on my business. I'll teach my students in the afternoon, whatever. But I do all of this on a contractor basis or in an entrepreneurial thing. So I do what I want. I can do business with you because, like I said, I understand the complexity of black hair. I understand the creativity behind it, and I understand the substance of a person as another black person should. The people out there don't understand that shit. So when we jump into their world, that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, 90% of you are going to have to conform or lose opportunity as a result of it.
Get y'all weight up, and then y'all don't have to worry about it. Get y'all weight up, and then y'all don't have to worry about
it. JT, go ahead. Get the last word in because we got to get out of here. Go ahead.
This is what I hear you saying. So you're pretty much saying if black folks or African American people would have handled half of the problems that they should have handled a long time ago, we wouldn't even have to be here right now talking about hair because everybody would have been back at the Black Wall Street level.
So you just put it in purpose perspective. If black people would have done what the Asians did with Chinatown and what the small hats did with their own individual communities, let's say Brooklyn, New York, they got their own schools, they got their own eateries and all of that, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But I want to thank the panel for coming on today.
Thank you for having me on.
Get my baby.
All right.
I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I'll catch y'all tomorrow on the next one. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Tonight on the Lapeef Experience channel, we got Bridging the Gap with Kelly. It's an awesome topic about should you basically have the same account? Is it his money or is it y'all money? And what should a woman do with her money? I'm going to be on that panel as well. If you are a Trigger Mike fan, make sure you tune in tonight to the Bridging the Gap with Kelly channel. That's going to be an awesome show for y'all. I'm out. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. We always giving you hot stuff here on the Lapeef Network. It's not up yet. All right, y'all. We out. See you next time.